In the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Hope you're having a pleasant Saturday afternoon listening to the footy, and I tell you what, it should be a big clash between East Ringwood and South Croydon out there at East Ringwood Reserve today. We'll bring you all the action live from the ground as that game comes to hand. Throughout the afternoon, I'll be giving you progress AFL scores, just the one match in the Australian Football League this afternoon, and it's between GWS, Greater Western Sydney that is, and Richmond out at Spotless Stadium in the western suburbs of Sydney. A crucial game for Richmond, and so far they have responded. 22 minutes into the first term, they lead the Giants currently by 19 points. They're 5 straight 30, the Tigers, to the Giants 1 goal, 5-11. So very inaccurate from the Giants' perspective. The goal scorers for the Tigers, Jack Revolt has already answered with 2 majors, Griffiths and Hooley each with a single goal. Meanwhile, Caniglio is the only goal scorer for the Giants. We'll give you progress scores from that match right throughout the day, but after these messages, it's back out to the EFL Match of the Day at East Ringwood Reserve.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers.
One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And
of course, he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league DNF, our BNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1/4.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
It can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Rodier, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go look for your footy.
Welcome out to the Maroondah Sports Club on this fantastic Saturday afternoon. A big event for the East Ringwood Football Club. It's their 1,000th game in the Eastern Football League, and we look forward to that. They've had a great history, and they're certainly looking forward to what might happen today and take home the points and ensure what will be a fantastic day and night down here at the club. My name is BWS. It's great to be back on the balcony out here at East Ringwood and calling Division 1 football too. Of course, we saw the Doggies on the standalone game. Well, it wasn't the standalone game. It was in Division 1 on Anzac Day, and that was a good effort against a red-hot Blackburn side. Yet to see East Ringwood this year, but I suppose they got everybody talking, didn't they, when they knocked off the top of the table Baldwin Football Club only a few weeks ago. Let's introduce the commentary team that we've got ensembled right throughout the afternoon, and he joins us every Wednesday, every Saturday and every Sunday. He's Ray Baird. Good afternoon to you, Raymond.
Good afternoon, BWS, and good afternoon to our listeners. And gee, what a great crowd out here. This place is actually packed today, and a big occasion for the East Ringwood Football Club. 1,000th game. Well done to East Ringwood.
And of course, riding the Choose Tap stats as he does every Saturday afternoon. The number 1 stats man in the Eastern Football League, Grant Soupy Campbell. G'day, Soupy. Turn your mic on, mate. We might have a little bit of technical difficulties on Soupy's microphone. Doesn't seem to be working, so let's introduce the guys who were part of pre-match. So it's good to get a second hello, isn't it? It's great to be calling football with Gavin Casey.
Yeah, I've just definitely had my money's worth already with all the questions. I've been well and truly slapped over the wrist. I've probably tried to get you involved in the game more, Ben, so hopefully we could share the load. Really enjoyed the pre-match led by Dyson Baker and the team. That was fantastic. Soupy, have we got you?
I hope you do now.
Yes.
Great to be out here. Should be a cracking game. Looking at some of the stats this season, South Croydon won 14 quarters. They've been the best opening quarter side, winning 5 out of 6, points differential of plus 115. So East Ringwood need to start well. Despite being very competitive, they've only won the 6 quarters so far this season, so a big day for them.
They've really only won 4 quarters in the end, haven't they? Because they were tied in 2 of those quarters. So when you look at it on paper, the Doggies really look like the side to beat today.
They do on paper, but East Ringwood, their average losing margin's only been 22 points. So when they have lost quarters, they've been very competitive. So I think it'll be a close game, but I'm leaning towards South Croydon.
South Croydon's weakest quarter of all four has been their third quarter so far in season 2014, and of course you talked about the fact that they start off so well. If that can be nullified by East Ringwood today, and they can come out in the second half, it could be very influential.
You're right, but the problem is East Ringwood's weakest quarter's been the third quarter as well, so that sort of cancels each other out.
I'd nearly say a lot of their quarters have been their weakest because they haven't won too many right across the board. As Aaron Kirkby Rodier joins us up on the balcony, our Division 1 specialist this year. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Vito. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Division 1 specialist.
Gentlemen, how are we going to see this game being played today? It's great to be back, Ray, at Division 1 football. Where do you see this game going?
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty close contest. I think there's only going to be about 3 goals in it because I like both the sides, but I like South Croydon just a little bit better. They're sitting 5th on the ladder. They need to win to stay in that 5, and I think that they will win. But on the other hand, East Ringwood, look, they've been playing 2 or 3 quarters every game. They put together 4 quarters against Baldwin, and they got a victory there. And if they can do that today, they're every chance. But look, I just think that South Croydon will get the job done.
Aaron?
Yes.
Your tip?
Oh, sorry, my tip this afternoon. I'm going to go South Croydon. I think they'll just be too good. It's a big day for East Ringwood, though. And they've beaten Baldwin this year, so they're not scared of knocking off the big teams. They really should have beaten Vermont. I'm going to go to the Dogs today. I think this is an important one for them.
How about you, Gav?
Yeah, I think South Croydon have been the better performing side, but East Ringwood, looking at their results, they've been competitive in a lot of these games. They've beaten Baldwin. They didn't follow it up against Vermont, but last week they came from 51 points down to only lose by less than a couple of goals. So that was a disappointing game for them last week. If you look at the results on its own, you'd think that they were competitive, but they weren't. They only had one big last quarter. But outside of that, throughout the season, they've been tracking well. They're one of those sides that just haven't been able to find the scoreboard when it matters. They go flat in the games, and it really does go against them. And they're not a high. Only last week was their highest score for the quarter for the games this year. So, whereas South Croydon, when they get on a roll, they have Eagle, they have Hughes, and they have the midfield to just get the supply going. So you'd have to, tipping-wise, go with South Croydon, but I don't reckon that there's much in this game.
I drove into the ground thinking, I've picked the Doggies today. I'm going to stand by that. And then I opened the Eastern Footballer, and because Dyson Baker makes me give my tips on a Monday morning, saw that I'd tipped East Ringwood, and I just don't know why, although I have heard that there are a few players missing from South Croydon, and they have a really long list of injuries, so they're certainly not even close to what their best team will be out on the park today, but they've been playing some super footy. Eagles been fantastic up forward, kicking a lot of goals, as is Hughes. That's nearly 60 goals between them so far this season. They've kicked almost 300 points more than East Ringwood this season to date as well. So, and the fact that those players are actually out on the park today, I see it that the Doggies are going to actually have a little bit too much firepower for East Ringwood, and I'm going to tip against the ROO'S and not spoil the party.
But East Ringwood's strength is probably not contrary to the Dogs' strength in forward line. East Ringwood can shut a game down.
Well, they certainly can, Gav, but we look at that. Last season we were out here for this radio game, for this exact game, and on that day South Croydon were favourites, but East Ringwood, they actually blew them out the water, so who knows what will happen.
Well, let's cross down boundary side for the first time this afternoon on a picturesque Maroondah Sports Club oval down to Esmond and Tim. Good afternoon to you guys.
Good afternoon, boys. Fantastic day down here. The sun's trying to come out. There's a bit of cloud cover, but there's no threat of rain. There's no breeze to speak of. Today, boys, I'm on the Kangaroos. I follow them in the AFL, so I'm going to have to follow them in the EFL as well. 2 players I've been really interested in, Anthony Van Ruren and Darcy Powell. They've been in great form, and I think they could get them over the line today.
And of course, we usually have this on our Akira Urgent Care Boundary Riders. One of the team members picks one team, the other one picks the other, and on his debut this afternoon is Esmond, and I've got a hunch that he's going for the Doggies.
Afternoon, boys. Yes, I'm going for the Doggies. Basically because they've sort of taken small steps and they're getting better every time and consistently 5th on the ladder. Ringwood have got to play for. They've already beaten Baldwin, and now they've got 1,000 games for this club season, so they should actually really build up for this one, but I'm just going to tip the Doggies to win this afternoon.
Division 1 football at its best, live from the Maroondah Sports Club, East Ringwood, taking on the South Croydon Football Club. It's East Ringwood's 1000th game, and here is a Gav Casey to take us away.
So Cleveland will do the ruck duties for East Ringwood versus Glenn Strawn, who's had a great season so far. Cleveland wins the tap down, but it goes straight down to the middle of the centre circle. Players pile in, the umpire blows his whistle. Looks like they might... No, he's going to ball it up again. He's right in the middle of Maroondah Sports Centre, and the ball goes up again. Cleveland wins the tap down defensive side as East Ringwood go towards the Mount Dandenong Road end. But it's yet to get away from the centre circle. It literally is only 3 metres away. So
it's a scrum.
30 seconds, the ball hasn't moved particularly anywhere. So the ball go up again. Cleveland, big body, goes uncontested, wins a tap down, and it goes to Cerny. Kicks it long inside 50. At ground level it is Farmer. He gets taken down with a great tackle in defence, but it's still East Ringwood with a chance. McConnon tries to get onto it. Now has to be the tackler. He gets onto Donnell. Donnell gets a hand pass out. Van Ruyen for East Ringwood gets it out wide. They're spreading it through Cerny. Now they've got a flying shot. Great smother coming in from Edie, and the Dogs repel. Edie butters up, gets a hand pass off, and Donnell gets a short pass out to half back. Comes back to him off the boot of his intended passee, and he has to go in again at half back, and the scrum comes back into play as it finally spills out at half back for the Bulldogs. They did well there because the flying shot was going on goal for East Ringwood, but a great smother by Edie, and Jones couldn't finish it off for the Kangaroos.
So the umpire brings it back in. Stevens got the knockdown there. Handball over the top. South Croydon might work themselves away from this. There's a lot of players following the football, going in really hard. Then there was King. The umpire said it was okay. Powell got the little handball out wide. Cleveland gave it back to Powell. Banged it on his boot up towards the half-forward line. The ball scrubbers away. Delta Geechee got a scrambling kick away, but it was cut off there by Jones, who will paddle it towards the boundary line with Liam Cox right on his hammer, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Neither side has scored 2 minutes into the first term.
Yeah, although we've only gone 2 minutes, very positive signs here for East Ringwood.
So Stevens will go up against Cleveland. That should be a great battle all day. Handball there by Cerny was okay. Kick up towards the half-forward line now for East Ringwood. The pack does form. Picked up there by Van Ruyen. Got the little handball away. They stream forward inside forward 50. The kick goes onward goal. This might be the first shot and the first six-pointer of the day. It's gone straight through the middle. Cal McConnon, one of the McConnon boys, come across from the Scoresby Football Club. It's a great start there by East Ringwood. 2.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and they lead it 1 straight 6. South Croydon yet to score.
Yeah, look, one of the players that's really been instrumental in all their moves so far is Chris Gurney. He is absolutely on fire for the first 2 or 3 minutes of this game, and his handball was the one that set up McConnon for the goal to East Ringwood.
McConnon's been terrific this season. He's owned this wing a couple of games, and they can't let him get off the leash again.
Ball back in the middle. Cleveland's done well. First tap won by Strawn for the day. Cherney, we've got the name pronunciation right this time, gets it spreading out and out wide. It's McConnon at half forward. It's this time it's Wade McConnon. He gets it inside 50, looking for a marquee, but it couldn't get it. Edie comes in with the punch, has been great in defence, but it's the Kangaroos having another flying shot from Farmer from directly in front. Good roading, good goal. Second on the board for East Ringwood, 3 minutes in. So on what's our scoreboard today?
Oh, the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, as it has been for a number of years. They're a great supporter of the Eastern Football League.
And it was a great handball out of the pack there by Bretton Legg that sent Farmer up for that goal. And as I said before, East Ringwood look as though they're up and about today.
Well, they should be, because it is their 1000th game. If you can't get motivated on a day like this, then you haven't played football before, have you?
Great crowd in attendance today as Cleveland gets the little knockdown. There might be some holding on here in the middle. The umpire saw that, so it'll be a free kick to the ROO'S. Players streaming up in towards the forward 50. Standing in the back there was Eddie on the third bite. He'll be paid the mark and probably could nearly get a 25 there. The umpire blew his whistle just to fool everyone. Barnes has made a little bit of space out wider if he wants to go there. But Eddie, short passes on for the ball. It's been picked up there by O'Toole. He was crunched down in the tackle. Cleveland goes in after it again, as does his opponent. And Wright will bring the ball back up to the umpire.
Just thought James Below spoke to Dale Bale before the game. Straight into the centre, put his head over the ball and earned himself a free kick for East Ringwood.
Right in front of us here in the broadcast position, Cleveland got the knockdown. The Dogs have got well into Nell. He goes one way to the other and then he fell over. And he was crunched in and tackled by Hubbard. The umpire said it was a little bit too crude, so a little bit of a let-off there for South Croydon, you would think. Is a beautiful kick by Denell into the middle of the ground, streaming out at centre-half forward. They go forward now. Kick on goal there by Strawn, I think, and Deminy. In fact, this might have gone absolutely through. The kick has gone through. And a goal on the board for their first, the South Croydon Football Club, and a good answer, Ray Baird, just in the nick of time, but they still trail by 1 goal.
It was a very good answer, but it was a goal that South Croydon had to get because East Ringwood got the first 2, but they did it very well. Grant Campbell, we'll cross to you.
Yes, the inside 50s are 4-1 in favour of East Ringwood. They're on top in the hit-out 6-2, and their tackling pressure being very good, 47 effective tackles to 3.
Look, we remember back in this game last season, and it was East Ringwood's tackling that day that certainly got on the win, and they're doing it again this year.
So Stevens during the ruck contest have been confusing with Strawn, but Strawn ran onto an open goal there nicely. Cuthbert doing half forward now as the Dogs get the centre clearance going inside forward. Eagle couldn't be found. He's gone to ground, so it allows the defence time here for the Kangaroos, but they've been corralled and over the line deep in the Bulldogs forward line. So this is a much more structured game now. A stoppage deep in the Bulldogs attacking area. They trail 6-12. Their only second time inside the forward 50. Cleveland wins the tap from behind, uses his weight and height advantage well, but at ground level no one can take advantage of it.
Good to see the Dogs hitting up players on the lead. They keep bombing it in there. Joel Perry's going to have a day out.
So Eagle had his first chance to get on the lead, but it just got away from him. So it is deep in the, but wrapped up in a tackle. It will be the Kangaroos take a relieving free kick to Powell. So Powell goes short and wide. It's a high up and under. It does favour his teammate in McConnon, and McConnon makes it good at half-back. So Wade McConnon has got it. He's looking for options, probably has a couple of shorts, but instead goes down the line along this pavilion here at Maroondah Sports Centre. At ground level, it's Farmer. You hear the clash of flesh as they go at it, and the pass is a beauty. Purdy on the lead, takes it on the arc. He's at half forward on a 45-degree angle. Mark the Vickers stands the mark. The long kick goes in. Purdy drifts it off to the left. And a minor score. East Ringwood 2-1-13 leading on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. South Croydon 1 straight goal 7 minutes into this first term.
It's quite obvious even at this early stage that East Ringwood, they're playing on at all costs and are certainly reaping the benefit.
So Strawn from one end to the other. Go short. Mark's been taken out there by Barnes, I believe. The left boot. Kick up towards the wing position. No one really went up for it at the end of the day, and at the fall of the ball, the Doggies will get away with this. Kick goes up inside forward, 50 players all by themselves. Here's Eagle. He'll give the little handball off. That was okay. Kick on goal by Crowell, and he pushes it to the right-hand side. That was a let-off there for East Ringwood. It was good end-to-end football there by the Doggies, and they matched the blemish of East Ringwood with one behind as they, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 8-minute mark, trail it by 1 goal as the ball's been brought straight back in. The umpire said it might have been a free kick to South Croydon here, and he's paid it.
Hands in the back, according to the umpire. The ball did fall to East Ringwood, and they looked to counter-attack, but here's Eagle on the lead. Takes it out in front. Nice jukes right in front of the eyes. 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Sorry, that's a mouth-watering clash down there. Jason Eagle, 11 goals last week, coming up against Joel Perry, one of the best backmen in the league. But Joel Perry's certainly got to get some help from his other backmen to fall into that hole there.
One of the Eastern Football League's premier full forwards on 34 goals for the year. He had a chance, but he gave up the option only a moment ago, but he converts it this time for his first and the 35th for his season. East Ringwood now tied up with South Croydon. It's 13 apiece, 8 minutes gone in this first term.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Tim Cotton.
Guys, Travis Strawn, he's got his calf really heavily strapped up. He just came off. He's looking very ginger at the moment. I'll keep you posted, so just bear with me on that one.
So we thank our Akira boundary riders today. I'm sure they do a fantastic job. Keep us updated. If any injuries happen, we'll be going down to them at the time to get an update. And again, the scrum forms from that centre ball up, and we'll have another umpire intervention. So Cleveland versus Grattan Stevens. Cleveland does well, but lost the front position, but the tap was won by Bilo. Bilo gets it forward. Oh, diving mark nearly taken by Battellini, but he drops it as he goes to the ground. It allows the defence of Eddie to come in for South Croydon, but buttering up again is Battellini. He was tackled, knocked off the ball. Wright gets his kick away. The umpire blows his whistle. A bit too much attention on the East Ringwood player Battellini, who was no longer in the game, and the down field free kick goes to Purdy, looking for his second shot on the board and hope to put his first goal on the board.
Just thought the class that Battellini gives to that East Ringwood forward line, butted up again, the one-handed pick-up as clean as you like, and dished the handball off there, so another good chance for East Ringwood.
I think South Croydon are trying to match East Ringwood's physicality because it is quite fierce now. Here he is. Purdy just misses to the right. He's really trying to steer his kicks at the moment, and he's second behind. Advances the East Ringwood score to 2-2-14. They lead by that minor score. South Croydon a 2-1-13, 10 minutes first term. That is the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Strawn, short passes on to Crowell, back to Strawn. Arches it back, then bangs it on his left boot. He had to gain every bit of valuable meterage, and coming in over the top there to create the spoil was Eagle. It was a good chase in the end to create that spoil. The umpires played. Dan Beaters said it was a chopping of the arm, so free kick will now go to Hubbard. On the right boot, he goes short. That's good. Farmer's presented well early in his first term. He's got it about 80 metres out from goal. It might go towards the Purdy direction. So Farmer got very close to the man on the mark. He kicks it to the hot spot about 20 metres out. Getting a fist on there was their Burnage. At the ball, the doggies might have the numbers. Going in hard there was Jones. Flung the head back. Goes in after it again. And the umpire said, give it to me, boys. We'll bounce this one about 35 metres out from goal.
Just looking at the East Ringwood side, BWS, they look bigger bodies, don't they?
Well, at this stage, the game is too even for me as Van Riel might get boot to ball, and he does, but he pushed it to the right-hand side. He was under an extreme amount of pressure. Minor score is the result. 12 minutes gone here in the first term out at East Ringwood, and the home side lead it by 2 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And a 25-metre penalty. The umpire, not sure why. It's actually gone to the defensive. Is it a 45-metre arc, do you think, Ben?
That makes sense. Well,
because
I don't understand why that is the case, but anyway,
it was sent out back that the kick out was taken eventually, and here they're off and running. King has got it, the Chandler medalist from last year. He gets tackled as he tries to hand pass. It now has to be the tackler, and the ball's held up at half forward just as the Dogs had some dash going forward. Daniel King was run down from behind, and his hand pass did get off his fist, so it's no holding the ball decision, but it's East Ringwood who have a chance off half-back. They might get the ball out wide. They do so. McConnon's got it. Wade McConnon, his hand pass didn't hit the fist, and that's why it went nowhere. And first on jumping onto the ball was Daniel King, and he gets it in the back decision. Well won there. Good endeavour from half forward. Here goes King. Puts it high and up and under, looking for the markers, but it's all the talls of East Ringwood that position themselves at centre half back, and nice mark taken by Renton.
So Renton on the right boot sends it out towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and a good mark has been taken out there. So even game we've got early in the piece here.
Isn't it physical though, Ben? It's fantastic.
It's Division 1 at its best. That's why we're out here. It's what we expected. The kick goes up towards the wing position, and the kick was intended down there for Wright, but cutting in front of him for the Doggies is Markovic, wearing the number 7 today.
Got a promotion from number 89.
Nice little promotion too, straight into the top 10 as the short pass is on.
Does he get a pay rise?
Strawn eventually gets the ball away. This is okay here by the Doggies. O'Toole kick was half intercepted, goes after it again, so the second effort was okay. King might be the recipient here. He's got a lot of players to contend with. On hands and knees and scooping it out wide. That time was Tui. Couldn't find a teammate, diving on top of the football and eventually winning a ball up.
Free kick.
Daniel King again. So he's a player who really puts his head over the football, and probably didn't see him over the first 9 minutes or so of play, King, and he'll have the kick inside forward 50. That is just centimetre perfect, isn't it? Because Jason Eagle comes out and takes a solid mark, or one of the easier ones for him for the season 2014. He's already kicked one, and he'll kick from 40 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, very poor work by the defensive six of East Ringwood there. Look, they've got to fill that hole in front of Eagles, otherwise he's going to cut them apart.
Well, when you've already kicked 35 for the season, this should be bread and butter for the big full forward. The goal up high does not move, straight over his head, and the South Croydon Football Club hit the lead for the first time this afternoon. 3-1-19 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's a 4-point lead over East Ringwood, 2-3-15.
As I said, look, Joel Perry did nothing wrong. He was right on the heels of Eagle then, but as I said, the other half-back line's got to come in and fill that hole. It's most important.
Why would Jason Eagle ever hand pass off when he's straight as a die? He never misses from directly in front. He tried to spread out the chance last time, but he's kicked 2 straight from 2 set shots.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
East Ringwood on top of the clearances now, 9-3.
And Legg got the lob kick. It's bounced all the way from the centre circle from his kick because it invaded all forwards and defenders and went through for a minor score. From centre circle to a score, East Ringwood 2-5-17 trails South Croydon 3-1-19. So the kick out by Markovic, looking at his options. The umpire's quick on his whistle. He's called to play on, so either he has to tap it to himself or now he kicks it. And the misdirected kick is marked by Jones, who did well in the zone on the left flank. And that rush kick has been a turnover. Jones centres it to Renton. Renton at centre forward is outside kicking distance, has a couple of options. The Doggies zone is good. The man on the mark through it. He smothers the kick, so Renton has to get the hand pass off. He might get it back, but here comes the Dogs on numbers. Well done, Bulldogs. Well done, the man on the mark, as Renton's kick was knocked off before it went anywhere. So Mark could be thankful for that intervention. But it's the Kangaroos out of the stoppage who get a flying kick, but it's out of bounds on the left side, and that was Legg, whose kick went all the way out of bounds on the full. So a leaving kick will be taken by Barnes.
Dominating the hit-outs today, East Ringwood.
14-3.
So Barnes on the left. Loving the far side of the play calling today. Thanks for that, Gav, as the kick goes in towards the direction of Markovic in the back pocket. Over the boundary line. It goes out of bounds on the full in the end. Oh, there's numbers everywhere for East Ringwood. Well, that was sloppy play then by the Doggies and not good enough in manning up because the kick there going forward by Farmer found his teammate in Bello.
No, sorry, Battaglini.
Battaglini.
No, you got to pronounce the Italian way there, Ray.
Battaglini.
Battaglini.
Okay.
No G pronunciation.
Battaglini. So, well, he's not too far out. Let's be honest, it's not a 50-metre arc, so the distance certainly won't be a problem to gain back the lead for the East Ringwood Football Club. He comes in, he sets it high, he makes the goal up high, work for it, but I think he's going to salute, and he certainly does. 4th goal on the board for the East Ringwood Football Club. They've had 8 scoring shots in this first term and possibly could be leading this one a little bit further on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, that goal came about because the South Croydon defender did the switch, but his kick wasn't accurate. He put it out of bounds on the full, and they've middled it to Battaglini. So and he's gone and kicked the goal.
Battaglini.
We've gone Battaglini. We've gone with East Ringwood. You've got to ask the people who know, right?
Battaglini.
Okay.
And the Italians who are listening will probably be thankful that we're backing them.
This is a great game.
It's a ball back in the middle. And Renton now doing the ruck duties for East Ringwood. He doesn't get off the ground, so Stevens just jumps all over him. But again, the ball just goes straight down underneath their feet, and the umpire will have to come in again for another ball up in the centre of the ground. Stevens wins the tap, but it's been sharked by Cherney. Cherney's hand pass didn't go anywhere, so kicking it quickly was Dan King in the forward line. Eagle further up the ground, traps it, tries to hand it off to King, being David, but the clearing kick by McConnon. He's doing well today, Wade McConnon. Markovic lumbers onto it on the wing. He gets wrapped up. The ball drops out to a teammate. Carley gets it over to Donnell, and Donnell skirts around half back, beautifully passes into the centre half back, and the Dogs will just take a bit of tension out of it as Eddie's got it. Looks for options, grandstand side. Comes to Markovic, all on his own, takes the mark on. Looks to well, the man on the mark's quite eager. But Markovic doesn't get an extra 25. A short kick finds his teammate in Mallison. He's been quiet early. Been a great player though, hasn't he?
Oh, he's super.
So Mallison's got it. Goes to half forward. Oh, a second into the contest, but marking it beautifully was Daniel Hughes. So Hughes runs onto his right, opens up the angle. Deagle's got 2 against him. Second up, he nearly takes it to ground level. King, beauty! Off the ground. And that is roving at its best. I'm used to calling Zippy, but this time it's his cousin, it's his brother David who gets it. And David King gets South Croydon's fourth goal, 4-1-25, leading East Ringwood on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 3-4-22.
Speaking of sides leading in Division 3 today out at Mitcham, Upper Ferntree Gully lead by 5 goals into time on in the first term as we cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Tim Cotton.
Mentioned earlier, Travis Strawn hurt his car. He's been very dejected in the bench. I've got a feeling the Kangaroos are a man down already.
Keep an eye on that, won't you? Kira Urgent Care boundary riders today, Cleveland versus Stevens at the fall of ball. Well, they've been on top, I think. Grant Soupy Campbell in the centre clearances, East Ringwood so far in this match across the half-forward line. They might be able to mop up here. McConnon paddled it to his advantage. It came towards the Battaglini direction. Handball backwards again. Here comes Cherney inside forward 50. There might have been a little bit of holding there on Purdy. The umpire said it was okay, and then he gets the clearing kick. He wanted the safety of the boundary line. The ball won't have enough legs. Is chasing after it is Ferraccio. He was the first one to meet it for the Dogs. Got it back to Eddie. Put under an immense amount of pressure there and over the boundary line and out of bounds.
The Dogs can be happy with Eddie's game so far.
Certainly got his eye on the football, that's for sure, as Stevens and Cleveland go up again. King, well, that was a little bit tiggy Touchwood King, but he certainly knows how to put his head over the football and win it, and some back chatter is going to hurt East Ringwood here as the 25-metre penalty is paid. So it'll bring the Chandler medalist right into the middle of the ground, and he sets sail inside forward 50. The ball's going to hold up there at the back of the pack. It's been picked up by Hughes. He snaps around the body, but the kick was smothered off the boot and it trickles over the boundary line and out of bounds about 30 metres out from play. Grant?
Inside 50s, 10-8 in favour of East Ringwood. They're dominating the clearances 11-5.
Thanks to Yarra Valley Water. It is delicious. Get amongst it as the umpire throws it in now. Ball's not going to go too far, Ray Baird. There's a solid tackle being laid there by Eagle.
No, the defensive six have certainly tightened up there, and they are falling back in that hole now, which is very good.
21 minutes gone in the first term. It is South Croydon leading this one by 3 points, 4-1-25. East Ringwood a 3-4-22. Hope you're enjoying your afternoon at the football as you go local for your footy. This is Division 1 football. East Ringwood picked up by King, snapped in, bouncing football. Which way's this one to go? Goal at A so far, South Croydon. They stretched their lead out to a handy 9 points now at the 22-minute mark, and that was a fantastic bit of play, a clever bit of play there by Daniel King at the stoppage to get boot to ball and a favourable bounce.
It was a favourable bounce because there was two players right in the goal square, and the ball was sort of bouncing along the ground, and it bounced completely over the two players there, and a goal to King. That's a great effort by South Croydon.
And the shepherd there by Crowell on the goal square was fantastic. Allowed it to bounce over him, and the defender had no chance to get his arm up to get the last touch. So it's in the middle again, but East Ringwood are doing well out of the centre. They win a defensive side, go to the right side, half forward, near our broadcast grand side position. Dogs, though, do get the turnover through Donnell. Donnell, short pass. David King's got it, goes to half forward where Eagle goes, but he's well attended to. So East Ringwood will win it at ground level through the hands of Strawhorn. And ground level was Hubbard. But at ground level again, it's Mallison coming in for the Dogs. He gets it out in the opening. What a pass and what a mark on the stretch as he just went up high by Eagle. So Eagle went aerial, and in the middle they got
Hughes, sorry.
So Hughes just thought Eagle was higher up the ground, and Hughes was in the air, got his body taken away from him, but his upper body strength to hold his position and take the stretch mark was perfect. 30 metres out. Hughes going for his first goal of today, and that is another one for a great season he's had. And South Croydon a 5-1-31, East Ringwood 3-4-22. The Dogs lead by 9 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And that goal came about because of the great work by Robbie Mellison there. Look, he pinpoint pass. He threaded it through about 3 players, and it hit Hughes on the chest, and he's gone back and slotted the goal.
Jason Eagle doing stuff when he's not even around the football. He's actually, with his strength, he's taken that role off Perry there, and Perry's not being able to play as that loose man. He's having to play on Jason Eagle.
The scoreboard is just updated. It's actually South Croydon's 6th goal of the day. They now push out to a 15-point lead. They conceded the first 2 goals of the contest, but they're really coming strong. East Ringwood get the whistle to their advantage, take it out of the middle, deep in the forward line, trying to get to it is Farmer, who's kicked a goal, but he impeded his opponent, and it's going to go to the Bulldogs, who clear it out, and Battaglini throws it over. So the Bulldogs are holding up well in defence after the opening barrage. The man on the mark, Battolini, doesn't come back, doesn't follow instructions, allows a 25-metre advantage go to the Bulldogs, and the long kick by Crowell traverses the square, but the punch comes in beautifully late by McConnon. So McConnon's had a great day, gets it at ground level to his teammate, and they try to get it going. The Kangaroos on the outer wing side. The handpass been chopped off, and Strawn kicks it to centre forward. Cleveland comes the punch at centre back, but at ground level it's King. David King gets it out the back to Mallison. Mallison quickly flies over on a mark! He was not in position to take it, but Eagle, never out of the contest, comes from behind his opponent, takes a chest mark. What a late intervention.
Danger signs.
Danger signs, but look, the last goal in this one here was set up once again by Robbie Mellison. Look, he's pinpointed a pass once again for the second time in 2 minutes. He's threaded it through players and he's hit the forward on the chest.
Well, he made it good, Eagle. He's a dead-eye dick from 35 metres out. He's put the mocker on him, has he? No, 3 from 3. What a great effort. He is one of the best spearheads in this competition. South Croydon a 7-1, 43, leading by 21 points. East Ringwood a 3-4, 22, 25 minutes in.
The thing that's making this even more impressive is who he's playing on. He's just out muscling Joel Perry as well as beating him on the lead, and he's got no answer for him. You know?
But the answer's got to come from the midfield. East Ringwood's got to cut down that midfield supply to go to the South Croydon forward. That's where it's starting.
Well, they really need to stem the flow here, East Ringwood, or get a clearance out and snag one back late in the term as Powell took it from the umpire's ball up in the middle and got quickly wrapped up. So we'll restart this one again. Hot to trot, ball comes down towards the Cox direction. He couldn't get a hand on it, and we will have another bounce. So deep into the first term here. Be a minute or so left as Cleveland had the front spot, knocked down to Powell, wrapped up again. So we'll call this take 4 in the centre of East Ringwood. It was almost right in the centre as well as the ball came down towards Ferraccio. He couldn't get a grab on it. And we'll have another bounce, another stoppage as pressing giggles in the background.
South Croydon leaving Eagle 1 out in the 50 now.
So Burnage went up that time and had the ball Cuthbert on the right, on the handball, got it away to Hughes, went one way then the other, goes back on the left boot now. Cuthbert up towards centre half forward. They've got the numbers. There was an important mark to be taken there by Barnes, and he's got players out wide if he wants to use him. Charging out there as Farmer takes it on the chest, handball up and linking on. Kick goes inside a forward 50 now. This is better play there from East Ringwood. Van Ruin at the back of the pack. He's going to run into an open goal. He just needs to keep his feet. He was put under pressure at the last moment, and mopping up nicely there was Barnes to rush the behind. Oh, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Almost running into an open goal and tripping at the last hurdle. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, East Ringwood 3-5, 23, 20 points in arrears of South Croydon, who are kicking straight, 7-1, 43.
His brain and feet were moving quickly, but he just couldn't keep it all going in the direction of the goals, and he tripped over the ball practically. And they're playing around with it, the doggies in defence, but King has got it. A couple of goals already, David King, so he gets around. Daniel King is getting into the game as well for the Bulldogs, but the kick has now been an outnumbered event, and the Kangaroos will get the turnover in the centre of the ground. The short pass to Farmer on the right half forward, got another short. Battolini maybe, decides to go deep. It looked like it was touched. Markovic, big punch, big push as well though, says the umpire. And the free kick will go to Purdy. So Markovic, geez, strong. The great thing about picking up an AFL recruit, I reckon the mistake is probably to go for a midfielder who's getting a bit older and his legs are not as quick as what they used to be. But to get a defender who's smart, be a great asset for the Bulldogs. But it's his opponent, Purdy, has got the ball in hand, as Markovic was very forceful with a punch and push. Purdy missed from this same shot earlier on in this quarter. 40 metres out, right side, and he again pushes it to the left, and it doesn't come to the right at all. So another minor score, and there is the quarter-time score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads East Ringwood in game 1000 are 3-6-24, but they trail South Croydon, who are 7-1, 43.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast as you go local for your football this afternoon, but beware because Will Taylor is about to step up and let us know all the around the ground scores at quarter time right across all divisions right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
It can
can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Rodier, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league DNF, out the DNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
David Watson with you on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, of course. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast of the Eastern Football League match of the day between East Ringwood and South Croydon, where it's currently quarter time. We'll head back to the East Ringwood Reserve in just a moment, but quickly we'll give you a progress score of the sole AFL match played today out at Spotless Stadium between GWS and Richmond. I'll tell you what, the Tigers have cleared away. It seems as if the frustrations of the previous weeks have boiled over on the field, and they're finally getting back to some winning form. They led by 36 points at quarter time, and now the current lead is 74 points in favour of Richmond over the Giants. The Tigers are 14-86, leading GWS 1-6-12. Jack Rebold already has 7 goals to his name, and we're currently at the 25-minute mark of the second term. So a magnificent effort from the spearhead forward. Griffiths also has 2 majors, Edwards with a single. Meanwhile, for the Giants, Caniglio is the only goal scorer with just the 1 major. So a big lead there to the Tigers. We'll give you updates throughout the day on this match. And of course, Collingwood West Coast is due to start the twilight game just after 4:30 this afternoon. But after these messages, head back to the team on EFL Gameday.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots, program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
The Saturday Gameday continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to East Ringwood Reserve here on AFL Game Day, and what a quarter of football that was, Ray Baird. It was going to be one of those games from the outside. East Ringwood hit hard and got the first 2, but South Croydon worked their way back into the game and currently lead this one.
Yeah, East Ringwood, they certainly come out with a vengeance there, and as you said, they got the first 2 on the board, but then to South Croydon's credit, look, they started to get that running game going, and Eagle was presenting down forward, and look, Joel Perry was doing a reasonable job on him, but they had to fill that hole, which they did later in the quarter. But overall, look, I just feel that East Ringwood are certainly dominating the ruck clearances, I would think so, but look, it's a big lead at the moment, but long way to go yet, boys.
What's it going to take for the ROO'S, Aaron, from here on in?
It's going to be tough. They're winning all the centre clearances. Maybe they've just got to be a bit more clean, try and hit targets rather than just bomb it in there. The biggest concern, though, is what we spoke about before the game. Joel Perry's going to have to man up on Eagle, which takes him away from getting in front of him.
Yep.
So they're missing that at the moment. So I think if they can get maybe a bit more clean out of the middle, that's all I can really think of, because they're winning the ball out of the middle enough.
Grant Campbell, some of the Tuesday match stats that matter.
East Ringwood dominant in the hit out 20-10. They won the clearances 13-7, out of the middle 8-3. Inside 50s they won 13-11, but one of the key stats, the marks inside 50, 5-2 in favour of South Croydon, with those 2 key forwards being able to mark the ball when the ball's kicked them in 50-50 situations, they're going to be hard to stop.
Thanks very much, Soupy. Alice, you've got some of the around-the-ground scores at quarter time.
Yeah, in Division 1, we've got Bourne leading Knox by 16 points. Noble Park's leading Blackburn by 10, and Norwood is up by 37 against Lilydale. In Division 2, North Ringwood is leaving Mulgrave by 5 points. Bayswater is leaving Waverley Blues by 14. And in Division 3, we've got Rodier leading Churnside Pike by 7. Upper Ferntree Gully leading Mitcham by 15. South Belgrave leading Glen Waverley by 3. Heathmont up by 1 against Templestowe. And the Basin leading Wanturna South by 9.
Thanks very much, Alice. Ray, it's going to be one of those afternoons in the Eastern Football League, isn't it? Bayswater currently leading at quarter time. Upper Gully leading the ladder leaders at the moment at quarter time. We could have a monumental change to all four ladders this afternoon.
We could have, Dyson, but it's only quarter time, mate. There's 3 quarters to go, and good sides. They might start a little bit slow, but they'll get back into the game, some of those sides.
Forest Hill 3-4-22 leading Nunawading 3-1-19. There's another nice close one out at Forest Hill Reserve. Of course, we've got a tight one here to an extent. East Ringwood really showed early in that term that they could be dominant in this one. South Croydon currently lead, though, 7-1-43. They lead East Ringwood 3-6-24. We're just waiting for the massive crowd to clear it. It didn't look like it was going to get that
boundary.
It didn't look like it was going to get
South
that big.
Croydon coach Damien Franken.
We'll head boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Esmond, you've got Damien Franken with you.
Yes, thanks a lot for that, boys. Damien, although East Ringwood kicked the first 2 goals, you would have been happy with that first quarter?
Yeah, reasonably pleased. Our conversion was good. Still even inside 50s at 13 and still 9 scoring shots to 8. So whilst we're 19 points in front, I'd say the game's very evenly poised at this stage.
And the other thing you would have been happy with, obviously, you got Hughesy and Jason Eagle up the front there, good forwards. But also their delivery has been excellent, so they've been having a good shots at goals from where they got their ball.
Yeah, look, I think Robbie Mellison hit the target on a couple of occasions there, but certainly if you put the ball out in front of these guys, they'll mark it for us. So be pleased with our midfield at this stage.
Thanks a lot for that, Damien.
Esmond, Aponso, thanks to Akira Urgent Care. The second term about to get underway. It's the Doggies leading this one by 19 points.
So Stevens wins the tap down in the centre. King taps it on, but it doesn't go too far forward to the centre circle, and the Kangaroos get number around the ball, and we'll go for another ball up in the centre of this Maroondah Sporting Centre. East Ringwood playing their 1000th game. They started well. They started with great endeavour. 2 goals on the board before South Croydon got it in their forward 50 line, but now it's South Croydon who've got a big lead from quarter time. 19 points at ground level. Van Ruyen, who nearly tripped over himself trying to get a goal, hands it over to Farmer. Farmer 50. Can't pull it around from the right side, and it's a minus score. East Ringwood are 3 goals, 7-25. Their goalkickers are spraying it a bit, and they trail South Croydon to 7-1-43. That is the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Strawn play it to himself here and kick it to the members' side. Target will be Eddie at the back of the pack, mocked up there by McIntosh for East Ringwood. On the right boot now, kicks the ball inside forward 50. It was a good-looking kick too, standing in.
Wraps up, got forward, should I say. That's Matthew Crow. Got all over the top of McIntosh. So it's now half forward for the Bulldogs. Pavilion side of Maroondah Sports Centre. Well done there by the player from East Ringwood. Had his arm taken, but still dropped the ball under his boot. Big kick into the centre. At ground level, Powell. Darcy Powell can't get out of the pack. Cleveland has to go in to help. He's trying to get Van Ruyen some space. But at the pack level, it is King who gets a short pass for the Bulldogs on to his teammate in Mallison. Another pass that hits the target. And Eagle, what about the silver top service? This is perfect for Mallison, and Eagle doesn't have to do too much but get onto the ball and take the mark.
It was a very, very clever kick by Mallison because he put it out to the non-defender side of Eagle, and he just took it under one arm and took it a very good mark.
Eagle, 3 goals. He's kicked all of them from 35 metres out directly in front, and it's goal number 4 for Eagle, and I reckon Mallison's contributed 3 assists. And what a game by those two. South Croydon move on to, I'm just going to wait on the scoreboard. East Ringwood are 4-7-31 and South Croydon 8-1-49.
Just again, he's still, the kick was beautiful, but he still just had the strength to hold off Joel Perry there. He's ready to spoil it. This is a real danger matchup here now.
I think that it's come to the time. Dale Bower, if I was in his shoes, I'd be moving Joel Perry off Eagle at the moment and put someone else there. And they've got to try and get Joel Perry as that link man in defence.
Margins back out to 3 goals here as the ball hits the deck. Diving on it, Daniel King will hand it back to the umpire. Breton Legg's been going in quite ferociously for East Ringwood so far in this game, having a fantastic season too for the ROO'S as the umpire throws it up at the fall of the ball. Is picked up there by Bello. I said it was holding the ball in the end, so a free kick will go to, I thought it was going to go to Sticks. Instead it goes to Mallison. A short pass is on. That was okay. He's drawn in the middle of the ground. Got a little handball out wide to Tui. They're linking up okay here, the Dogs, but falling at the last moment there was Denali. He was quick enough to get back on his feet, get the handball back to Tui on the left boot. It was a scrambly kick. It was chopped off there by Purcell. He'll push it towards the boundary line. Over it eventually goes, and we'll have a boundary throw in about 35 metres out from the doggy goal line.
How slippery is Denali? They can't stick a tackle on him, can they?
Umpire throws the ball back in now. Baraccio goes up that time, got 2 fists on the football, goes in after it again, caught one a little bit too high. The umpire said play on. The ball came out wide, picked up by Denal. What a turn of speed this is, keeps the ball alive. A skew-if kick goes to the top of the goal square. Which way is this ball going to bounce? Favourably for East Ringwood as the kick goes out wide to McConnon. Wade McConnon now handballs over the top. They've got the runners here. The ball needs to sit up. Unfortunately, it couldn't there for his brother Kel. It goes out to Straw now for the Doggies. Kick was brilliantly smothered there by Wade McConnon. Good second effort there. It's still a hot football. Straw goes in after it again. He was under pressure. Handball goes backwards to go forwards. That was okay. Crowd got the handball to his teammate, which was chopped off there by Farmer, who got a handball away. Chopping it off there was Eagle. Swings around on the left boot. Kicks it to about 25 metres out from the Dogs goal line. First player to meet it there will be McIntosh. Goes one way, goes the other. Has some time. Kicks the ball out wide. A bouncing football might eventually find the arms of Palmer. Left it for his teammate. The kick was ordinary. Smothered over the boundary line and out of bounds. This game's getting
struggling, boys. Clint's struggling. He's really struggling here.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, Strawn number 32 is just hobbled off the ground. We'll just keep an eye on him and see whether he'll be okay.
Great stuff, Esmond, as the ball just pops up there. Cuthbert basically threw that away, and the umpire certainly saw that, so the free kick will go to Cherney. True centre wing position. In front of a wall and blue and white this afternoon. The short pass is on, taken there by Jones. Got players in the middle in Cleveland. He spots up the big man. So just inside the centre square. On the right boot, kicks the ball up towards the half-forward line. Flying over the back there was Farmer to no avail at the fall of the ball. The umpire said play on. Farmer copped one nearly too high there. The umpire said play on again, but will bounce it about 55 metres out from East Ringwood's goals.
Great umpiring. He contributed to he ducked into that tackle, so that was good umpiring.
So 7 minutes gone here. It's a 3-goal ball game. East Ringwood, they certainly need the next one. Backwards to go forwards now. Hubbard on the handball, got it to McIntosh. Got himself out of a bit of trouble, but turned back into it again. Great bit of pressure there by the Doggies to make the throw happen, and free kick will go to South Croydon in the middle of the ground.
So here goes the Bulldogs loading up from the centre. They always try to hit the pass, and on the bounce does go the way of the Bulldogs. This time Eagle took it on the bounce. He helps his teammates get back onto it for O'Toole. He loads up a huge kick into the goal square. One-handed effort at ground level. Did the toe get on the boot? I reckon it did. And it is Crowell who got it off the ground. He didn't take the mark. One arm wrapped up in the contest. One arm to try to take the mark. Drops it under his foot. And goal, Bulldogs 9-1, 55. South Croydon jumping out to a 4-goal lead as East Ringwood a 4-7 31. 8 minutes second term in this Division 1 contest. And choose tap stats. Go ahead, Grant.
Inside 50s this quarter, 5-3 in favour of South Croydon. Their tackling pressure being very impressive. 8 effective tackles to 3.
Dale Bower will be filthy with that. No one was on the mark for that Daniel Hughes free kick, and he was allowed to run an extra 15 metres.
Well, it was certainly an important goal in the context of this game as the kick goes out. O'Toole just gained some valuable meterage. David King got it away towards Denell, slung his arm back. O'Toole came in again. Kick was half smothered. Leg got a handball away. That was okay. Ballo on the right boot. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Which way is this going to bounce? A great fist away there by James Crowell over the boundary line and out of bounds. It goes. 9 minutes almost gone here in the second term. A very handy 4-goal lead now to the South Croydon Football Club. They're kicking straight, 9-1-55, plays 4-7-31 as the umpire comes in. Stevens will give that one too. Got it down to Donnell. An interesting looking kick, but a very good one too by Donnell. In and under, up towards the half-forward line. And it was a 2-on-1 situation, and the ball was being able to be held up there far at
Esmond boundary.
85 metres out now from the South Croydon goals as we cross down the boundary side. Thanks to Akira, urgent care to Esmond, Aponso.
Quick update on Glenn Strawn, 32 for South Sydney. Hobbled off the ground, but he's okay. He's back on the ground now.
So very important for South Croydon that Strawn gets back. The umpire throws it in. So Strawn's already on the ground. I think it was Straw Horn, I think Esmond was referring to down there for East Ringwood as the umpire throws it up now.
Rather confusing for us.
Cleveland got the got the knock away. Now Cuthbert on the left boot, a spearing pass. It was hot to trot too as he spots up a teammate across the half forward line. The kick goes inside forward 50. Nobody was home, but they dropped what they probably should have taken there as McConnell will mop up now for the ROO'S. He goes backwards to Perry. Perry will go backwards again and create a switch. The kick couldn't hit the target. Marcius has got to be clever here. David Marcius is a clever player. Got the handball away. They're putting themselves under a lot of pressure here. The East Ringwood side as Marcius gets a handle on the ball and over the boundary line it goes for a boundary throw in.
You were dead right then, BWS. East Ringwood are putting themselves under pressure, but having said that, it's also the pressure of the forward 50 by the South Croydon side is fantastic.
Cleveland, big ruckman, got the knockdown. That was okay. Picked up by Powell. Got a handball out wide and looking for a leg and Cherney, I should say, and he gets the ball.
He's been a good player so far.
Been very good. So Cherney, short passes on. Still not linking up the handball too well as Marcius. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line, using his body better that time there was Crow. Got some support by Barnes over the back. Crow will go after it again. The ball's just got to bounce favourably for him. He went in really hard there, was Purdy, and earned the free kick across the half-forward line. So an important ball now here for East Ringwood. Probably just his range too. The fact that it's an open goal line, he should probably go there because Jones has made space. It's a good looking kick right to the goal line. Jones got a handle on it too. You could see him lurking down there, rushed over for one behind it on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 11-minute mark of the second term. East Ringwood 4-8-32, trail by 23 points. South Croydon 9-1-55.
Quick kick out and King uses the fullback to get it going again. So they get it to centre forward. Great mark, ducking back. That is great courage by Purcell, who had men coming onto him. He knew that, but he still went back and took a strong overhead mark. His kick goes down the line to centre forward, but Wright takes a good mark. So some good pack marks here by the Kangaroos, but this is where it stops. And not knowing where to go next, Wright just puts a high up and under, hoping for a tall marker. The tall marker's there, but it's a Bulldogs marker in Eddie. And Eddie, from deep in his own defence, clears it out to the outer side. One-on-one contest, but here goes the ROO'S bouncing up. They get it, a short pass marked by Van Rooyen, who takes the mark 40 metres out. And this time, he's got his composure. He's got his feet still on the ground, and he'll have a shot at goal from about 45.
That was terrific work again from Purcell. Did it by himself there, jumped up off the ground and delivered the ball beautifully.
So if you're watching on the Eastern Football League website, you'll see the kids just getting together to get onto the halftime event as Van Rooyen. That's a vital goal. East Ringwood needed that. That's their fifth on the board. They are 5-8-38. They close the gap down to only 17 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and yeah, it was much needed goal for the Kangaroos.
It certainly was a needed goal, but I'm just been looking at the forward structure of the East Ringwood side. They've been playing Andrew Renton down at full forward. Now he's got a decisive height advantage there. So what the other forwards have got to do, they've got to move out of there. And Andrew Renton one-on-one, kicking the ball in high, he'll outmark anybody.
So the ball back in the middle, 13 minutes gone. The knock that time there by Burnage. Couldn't find his over. She goes for another boundary throw in.
I just feel that the East Ringwood forwards, they've got to move out. They've got to open it up because at the moment they've got no real structure going into that forward 50.
So the umpire brings it in. Renton almost gripped it. David King kick was half smothered. Well, it was smothered in the end. Cuthbert came in to lend some support. Giving him a little bit of a shove was Ballo. So Cuthbert will receive the free kick for the Doggies across the half-back line. Got a lovely left foot kick. Might go for the longer option here, or the lead into the middle of the ground, which was a good one there by Eagle. He was being held without the football, and he wants to play on two. Here's Glenn Strawn, and look at that arch at the back. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. That's a good-looking kick. That is good football there by the South Croydon Football Club. They worked it from across the half-back line, straight down through the middle of the ground, and then eventually into the forward arc, where the mark's being taken by Matty Crowell, and he'll have a shot to get a very important answer at the 15.5-minute mark, where East Ringwood have been on top over the couple of last minutes. But to put through his first goal, the second goal of the day, and his side's 10th, it never looked like it going through, did it over to the right-hand side for the second blemish for the South Croydon Football Club. Bendigo Bank scoreboard says 9-2-56, East Ringwood at 5-8-38, 16 minutes gone.
Joel Perry got caught on Crowell then, and he just beat him on the leg. Alex McIntosh was on Jason Eagle leading up to the footy there.
There's a big difference how both teams are going forward.
It's a big kick.
The leading options are working well for the Dogs. And the kick out was a huge one. It goes to the centre of the ground, but the ball's been wrapped up. And so now we have a 50-50 situation. It is an 18-point game in favour of the Bulldogs. East Ringwood trying to get into the contest. Their 1,000th game ever. And they're looking to make a big day of it. Their flying kick out of the pack by leg goes towards the boundary line, and it's seen over on the outer side. 16 minutes in this second term. Vital game for both teams' season, as South Croydon try to secure their spot in the top 5, and East Ringwood have done well without winning. They've had one big win this year against Balwyn, and they haven't been able to follow it up in the following 2 weeks. So they've had a good start, but South Croydon look potent going forward, but at the back of the pack dashing, it's McConnon having a great day, one of the best on field. At ground level, Van Ruyen gets onto it, he tries to knock it forward and keep it in, but...
Fisher got the handball away, that's drawn, that's 3 kicks in a matter of seconds. A kick up towards the half-forward line or inside forward 50, picked up by McConnon. He clears it away. The old 1-2 kicks it up towards the wing position where Van Ruyen is. Couldn't get handle on the ball. He had 2 players to beat, but at the fall, the ball picked up by McConnon. This is the Cal variety. Kick ball goes inside forward 50, but Eddie is a smart footballer. He knows the quick kick might come in, so he stands strong, takes the mark at the last line of defence. Kick was pretty ordinary, though, as you give the guy a rap, he lets you down out of bounds. The football goes looking for Daldagici right in front of a big crowd that's formed on that far side.
Well, they did well. They got all their numbers back, East Ringwood, but the consequence is they had no one at home when they finally got it forward.
So ball back across the half-forward line now for the Roos. Next goal is important. Renton made his way to the front spot, palmed the ball down, but to no avail though, because Dalgadici there for the Doggies picks the ball up, kicked up towards the half-forward line, chopped off there by Perry, got the handball away under a lot of pressure. The ball trickles over the boundary line and out of bounds, far side of Maroondah Sports Ground.
Yeah, look, I think that Dale Bauer would be pretty happy with this second quarter by East Ringwood. Although they haven't made inroads on the scoreboard, they certainly had a lot of the play.
They'll be disappointed with not being able to finish off if they can't snag a goal or two in the last couple of minutes, because they have been on top recently. Here his leg tried to break his way through a couple of tackles, handball out wide to Van Ruyen. He had to break the Eddie tackle. That is a super tackle. One of the best you will see from Eddie, and he's been a general up the back line so far in this match for South Croydon. And he tried to go on with it a little bit too quickly as we cross to Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Max Stats.
Inside 50 is now 9-8 in favour of East Ringwood. The contested possessions, East Ringwood lead 30-21.
So Eddie go backwards to go forwards. They might create a nice little switch here, the South Croydon Football Club, as the kick goes up to O'Toole. Takes the mark, wanted to take off too, but he's slippery, isn't he? On the right boot, little short passes on. They just need to slow it up here. Cuthbert got the handball away to Strawn on the left boot. Oh, he doesn't waste a possession, does he, Strawn? Short passes on, that was okay. Kick goes inside forward 50 now for South Croydon. Who's going to stand strong? Perry nearly pulled it to ground. He'll eventually get the handball. He got it away there to leg on the right boot. Kick it out of that danger zone. He's got players out wide. A teammate in Bello swings around on his right boot now. Bouncing football, has to sit up there for Churdy, and then now they're away. East Ringwood up towards the half-forward line, looking for the right direction. The kick was terrible, and Eddie will be able to just paddle it over the boundary line and force a boundary throw-in.
They're really starting to clog up that half-forward line there. He's forcing South Croydon to kick the ball in long.
So it's becoming a bit of an arm wrestle as both teams look to counter off the half-back line. It's just broken down in recent times. Here's another dash for the Bulldogs in the hands of King. King goes long and strong, not in a good position, Eagle, and his opponent takes a good mark for the Kangaroos and Perry. Perry gets it out wide, and now here it's Kangaroos. Powell stops, and now as assesses, his punt is not a good one. It's a turnover. Donnell loads up the pass. The Eagle might do the shepherd. He had to because the punch came in late over the top.
Well done by Perry then.
And Fisher got crunched, and the punch comes in, but the leaving kick is out wide and allows the Bulldogs to reload it on the wing. Donnell might take it, but he might have to give it back to Barnes, and it is.
It was great defensive play by Joel Perry. Then he come over the top of two players and punched the ball.
So Barnes just gets a high kick, but it's all East Ringwood. Tolls, will they spoil each other? It looked like they did. Two hands on it. Cleveland allows his teammate to get it, and it's Purcell doing well.
Playing into the hands here.
Cherney, got a lot of numbers back for East Ringwood. The Bulldogs have got to recognise that. But it's now the
look ahead, look forward.
Well, it's hard for them to know who's the next option. Baird takes a good mark. He heard the footsteps, but he didn't shirk the task, and he took an overhead mark. Well done. As he might have to go backwards. He does. Bilo gets it. And what are they going to assess? Where are they going to go? They're going to go deeper. That's two kicks that have gone 50 metres backwards. And now a short pass there by Purcell finds his teammate. Thankfully, they're keeping it in hand. Jones, Kangaroos. Clock ticks towards 23 minutes gone, second term. Another short to McIntosh. He dodges from right into his left boot. Now goes on his right, actually. He's passed, push off it by Purdy, and gives the Kangaroos a chance. A structured go at it. Bilo gets it. Long driving kick into the danger area. Can the Kangaroos fly? But Eddie again drops it to ground level. At ground level, it's McConnon. Been one of the best. So that was Farmer, and it's now the Bulldogs under a lot of pressure. Umpire says, give it to me. It's been held in. 17 points is the margin. East Ringwood are applying the pressure. Can this heat turn into a goal? Renton wins the tap down. At ground level, though, it's the Dogs with Cully. Cully keeps it underground, and it's another ball up.
And there's a little bit going on off the ball between Crowell and Purdy.
Tap one down here, the Kangaroos from straight in front. What a tap. Beautifully done by Wright for Cherney. And Cherney from only 10 metres out lobs a goal in. And goal number 6 for East Ringwood. They're back in this contest. 6-9-45. And the South Croydon 9-2-56. I'll hand it back to you. You've seen something here. The goal umpire's getting involved. BWS.
Both umpires sorting out the situation. It is a goal. Don't you worry about that.
We all knew that goal umpire. No theatrics. Get on with it.
Just giving a chance for the East Ringwood. 9-45.
Men on out on this wing here. He's gone to the wrong side.
So the ball comes back into play. Sorry, Gav, I thought you were going to take over there as Chadwick goes after it. A little handball away in the middle of the ground. Now East Ringwood get another chance. Here's Chadwick on the right boot, inside forward 50, just working his player out of position ever so beautifully was Cam Purdy. He's kicked one goal for the afternoon, and he'll go back to put through his second and an important answer. Well, not an answer to the ball going forward, and all of a sudden this margin can get reduced back to one kick.
And it was brought forward by Wade McConnon. Look, he has been one player that's really been on top out there on that wing.
So Purdy crosses the 45 now, just pokes at it himself, and the umpire hop, skip and a jump to the right-hand side that time, through for a minor score. That's his fourth behind of the afternoon. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, East Ringwood 6-10-46, South Croydon 9-3-57.
They've all been from set shots, those misses, so they're going to be costly potentially. And it's the Bulldogs as the siren goes. Half-time in game 1000, East Ringwood is 6-10-46. The visitors, South Croydon 9-3-57, 11-point lead in this round 7 Division 1 contest.
Gav, can we go through some of those leading goal kickers for the afternoon?
Eagle has kicked 4 goals for South Croydon, and David King has kicked 2, and it's all single goal kickers for East Ringwood.
Plenty of great games as you go local for your football on this fantastic Saturday afternoon. It's round 7 in the Eastern Football League, and stay tuned because Will Taylor, Dyson Baker and the gang will be back with all those important around-the-ground scores right after this.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye
Let's encourage them to say, come on the ground at half time, the juniors.
Get a race tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Own a smartphone and love the Eastern Football League? then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around-the-ground scores every Saturday afternoon right from the palm of your hand. And contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy this season right from the palm of your hand.
You're listening to Davey and Watson on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM, currently a cosy 17 in the outer eastern suburbs of
The Brothers having a kick on the ground at half time to go to somewhere where the kids aren't going to be playing, that'd be really good. Just that for them if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great.
Solitary AFL match being played today. It's currently the 8th-minute mark of the third term, and Richmond lead quite comfortably over Greater Western Sydney out at Spotless Stadium. It's the Tigers 15-3-93, leading the Giants 3-7-25 by a whopping 68 points. And the major goal scorers, Jack Revolt already has 7 to his name, so potentially a double-figure bag in the game for him. Ripples and Hooley each with 2 majors to their accounts. Meanwhile, for the Giants, only 3 goal competitive singles, Jeremy Cameron, Caniglio and Reece Palmer. And leading possession
G'day, Clint.
G'day.
How are you, mate? Good, how are you? Oh, not too bad. We're just a couple of minutes late. We're just going through some sponsors and stuff.
Alright,
Beautiful.
Pie Shed halftime show.
Am I speaking to you, Dyson? Yeah, you certainly are.
For all things EFL.
Missed me last week.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get spade hand.
What's going on with the Tigers at the moment?
Hey, they're looking alright actually.
Just about time.
G'day guys, how you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in Eastern Football League?
Jack. Probably about 1 quarter.
Oh, still 7.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio
Won't be
Eastern.
too much longer, mate.
It can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Rodier, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to East Ringwood Reserve, and it is a nice and tight game that we've got on our hands at East Ringwood's 1000th game. It is currently South Croydon leading this one by 9 points. Welcome to the Pie Shed halftime show. The Pie Shed's pies are absolutely delicious, combining fresh meats and vegetables with just the right combination of herbs and spices. The Pie Shed offers over 40 varieties of pies with a
Tim
reputation
Cotton on the boundary with
second
John
to
Ward.
none. See Mark of the team at 295 Canterbury Road, Boronia, or call 9720 7711. One man who loves his Pie Shed pies every time he gets out to 295 Canterbury Road, Bayswater is the main man of the 9 News team, Clint Stanaway.
Well, Dyson, you calling me a pie boy?
Well, I think you'd enjoy a nice pastry, wouldn't you?
I from time to time, got to watch the waistline though. A very good afternoon to you and your listeners. The Tigers up there in Sydney, they are leading GWS on a merry dance. What about Jack Revolt? He's kicked 7, make that 8. He's just put that one through the high diddle. After his nightmare week, he is having a day to remember. So far, we're midway through the third term. Richmond by 67 points. Plus in 9 News tonight, we'll also have all the highlights as the Magpies and Eagles clash at the MCG a bit later this afternoon. Also in 9 News, a fugitive who was released on bail in error has been arrested by police. Andrew Males was found at a property near Bendigo. 36-year-old woman was located unharmed. Now, the RACV is calling for major roads to be made 24/7 clearways in a bid to ease weekend congestion. A house fire at Balwyn deemed suspicious. Thailand's Prime Minister has been detained as tensions rise there in Bangkok. And Shane Crawford's footy comeback. How about this for Aldinga in South Australia, a team that before today had lost its first 6 games by an average 167 points. Sammy Newman's belting out the national anthem pre-match. Can Crawford give the Sharks some bite? We will tell you in 9 News tonight at 6.
Thanks very much, Clint. There might be a few GWS defenders hiding behind some cars, I'd reckon.
Exactly. Wasn't that comical footage the other day? Jack Revolt, what are you doing, sir?
Unbelievable. No worries. We look forward to seeing
Thanks,
your
guys.
smiling face at 6 p.m. on Channel 9. Thanks very much to Clint Stanaway from the 9 News team. There was Clint, and obviously fantastic. Sharp as always is the smiling one, Clint Stanaway. And I believe Tim Cotton's got a special guest down on the down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. No,
You there, boys?
Yeah, we certainly are. Go for it,
Yep,
mate.
boys, got royalty down here. John Lord, 183 games for the Melbourne Footy Club, 5-time premiership player, but more relevant to today, he was the... Okay, thank you. Back to you, boys.
Thanks very much, Tim. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Fantastic just to get another insight and a bit of history behind this proud club that the East Ringwood Football Club is. Quickly, Grant Campbell, some of the Choose Tap match stats from that second term.
In the second quarter, East Ringwood won the hitouts 18-11, and many more kicks, leading that 50-36. They were winning contested possessions 38-27. South Croydon got on top inside 50s, winning 12-11. Not too many marks inside 50, 3-2, favour of East Ringwood. And a question I have for you and maybe some of the other guys around is, do East Ringwood consider putting a forward tag on Strawn, because he was just racking up those disposals? I reckon he had over 10 kicks, running ball through the middle, rebounding.
Got to stop him somehow. That's the main thing. Thanks very much, Soupy. As always, thanks to Grant Campbell. Brilliant. As I think our next guest is just getting a little bit of reverb. If there's a radio behind you, Braden, please turn it down. Thanks.
Sorry, Dawson, I'm with you now, mate. How you going?
Beautiful. Thanks, mate. It seems to be a pretty decent game going on there out at Walker Reserve.
Yeah, certainly is. It's been a really tight, hotly contested game so far. It's the Basin 7-5, leading at Wanturna South 6-4. It's been a pretty fiery start to the game. Both teams really using the ball as well as they can. But at the moment, the Basin, they're dominating the clearances 23-8, but they're probably just turning over the football a little bit too much. Wanturna South are taking the advantage of that. And the umpires have been really hot. We've actually already seen a red card today, 2 yellows. Jack Burkett's done for the day. So it's been a bit of an interesting start to this one.
Is either side really trying to get on top going forward? I mean, obviously they're not sides that contain massive big forwards inside their forward 50. Is that one thing that it's been a real battle of the midfield?
Yeah, look, to some extent it has been. I think for the Basin going forward, Trev Mills has kicked 2 goals. So's Michael Thompson. So they're players not necessarily that are always going to kick big loads. For Wanturna South, Edgecombe's got involved, Hutchinson. So there's been some players, the names that we expect to see. But I think going forward, the Basin would expect to improve the way they've used the footy. And Wanturna South would just want to increase their pressure to some extent, I think, because it probably hasn't been there as much as they would have liked.
Basin looking pretty safe in the second half, you reckon?
Look, a bit of bias from me. I think they'll get up, of course, like usual, but we know Wanturna South are a really good side. They're going to want to bring a bit more pressure, probably get a bit more ball easier into their forward half. It's been a little bit messy to some extent, and as I said, the umpires have been really harsh today. They've been paying everything that's there and probably a little bit more. So head over the footy is going to get there. I'm not going to rule Wanturna South out. It's a really close game, 7-5 to 6-4. So I'm with the Basin, but it could go either way.
Just before we let you go, we'll get another recap of that half-time score.
So it's the Basin 7-5-47, leaning on Wanturna South 6-4-40. The sign's just about to start the third quarter. So,
no worries. We look forward to hearing you after 5 o'clock on the BGC Bayswater Post Match show. Thanks, Braden.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much to Braden Ingram out at the South. The Basin game, and an interesting result so far. We'll tell you got some other interesting results going on around Eastern Football League venues.
And let's have a look at the other scores at the moment. In Division 4, it is Ferntree Gully trailing Sylvan by 13 points in that game. Forest Hill are leading Nuttawading by 27 points, and Park Butchers by 29 over Kilsyth. In Division 3 today, it is Boronia by 21 over the very inaccurate Chenside Park. It is Whitehorse by 4 points over Ringwood at the moment at half-time. South Belgrave by 39 over Glen Waverley Hawks. Templestowe by 5 points over Heathmont. And Brain just mentioned before, the Basin by 7 over Wanturna South. In Division 2 today, it is Mooroolbar by 15 over Doncaster. North Ringwood by 19 over Mulgrave. Bayswater, very accurate Bayswater, has not kicked it behind so far in the first half. They lead by 3 points. And in Division 1, of course, the Rodier game at the moment, South Croydon by 11 over East Ringwood. Bourne Aline Knox by 34. Montrose O'Roe by 9 points on the back of a 6 goals to 3 second quarter. Blackburn by 11 points to O'Neill Park on the back of a 5 goals to 1 second quarter. Norwood by 62 over Lilydale, and Vermont over Scoresby by 55.
Some interesting results going on around Eastern Football League venues. It's good to see that we've got a little bit of a few interesting results starting to show up. And I mean, you look at the Bayswater, they've managed to hold their lead in half-time. The one I'm really looking forward to seeing is the Upper Ferntree Gully Mitcham half-time score. Once we eventually get that one through, if you're out at that game, make sure you text us through or tweet us at Footy EFL. As the ground just starts to clear with a mob of juniors that have managed to take into the field in grid games. We're waiting on both these sides to come out, and when they do, we'll be back for a massive second half here on EFL Game Day. It's the East Ringwood ROO'S taking on the South Croydon Bulldogs. Not quite ready for us yet, Dave?
It can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Rodier, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league DNF, our BNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1/4.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tab. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent. In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Damien Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. Currently 17 degrees outside, as it has been really for most of the afternoon here in the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Apologise for that technical gaffe before, just a few difficulties here in the studio, but that's been rectified. A quick update in the AFL, the solitary game in the competition this afternoon out at Spotless Stadium. Richmond doing it comfortably over Greater Western Sydney. The Tigers lead the Giants currently by 86 points, 18-4, 112. Superb accuracy for the Giants, 3-8-26. Jack Revolt has 8 goals to his name, 2 majors apiece to Griffiths and Cooley. Meanwhile, for the Giants, their only goal scorers Cameron, Caniglio and Palmer. Head back to the EFL Game Day team out at East Ringwood Preserve for the big clash between the ROO'S and South Croydon right after these messages.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day as both sides just start to walk out into position. It currently is South Croydon leading this one by 9 points, 9-3-57, leading East Ringwood 6-10-46. It was almost a 1-goal margin when Cam Purdy had that last shot just before the stroke of half-time. Ray, East Ringwood are just doing enough to stay in it, but South Croydon seem to have some sort of control over this one.
Well, South Croydon had control, but I just got a feeling that East Ringwood have actually worked their way back into this game, Dyson. I like the way that they went about their second quarter. They filled that hole there down in front of Jason Eagle, who was the main goal kicker for South Croydon. And once they did that, they stopped the supply. And when they've got it forward, though, unfortunately, Cam Purdy was being inaccurate.
The difference is Jason Eagle 4-1 and Cam Purdy 1-4.
Yep.
So that could be it in a nutshell. As there's the siren to signal that we're underway in the third term. The tap, again, just goes to the base of the pack, and the pack are quick to get around it. And from the flanks and the wings, they come in and crowd the situation. So there's a lot of players around the ball. Flying kick out of the pack, at the back pack by Powell. Eddie, again, in front position. He drops it, but spills straight back onto it. And on the bounce, he just kicks it long. And a mark taken by Hughes. No, 2 grabs at it. He drops it on the third grab at it. And McIntosh does some relieving work. Hands it out to a teammate. And the kick might be turned over as Donnell's favoured instead of Bilo. And he drops it. Marcius gets involved and wraps it up in a contest. Centre wing of Maroondah Sports Ground. East Ringwood playing game 1000. They're trailing South Croydon by 11 points. And so this first minute gone in the third term. Rucks go at it. Stevens wins it at ground level after he goes up for the ruck. And that ground level, Paracchio has been wrapped up very quickly. So Stevens, Cleveland go at it. Stevens has got into the game and probably got on top of Cleveland in that second term. But the rucks haven't been that influential. Tackle over the shoulder. Powell has given away a free kick and it will go, well...
No, ball up.
Oh, it looked like it was over the shoulder of Mallison, but no free kick. There goes again. Stevens just knocks it forward, but it's been sharked by Bilo. He's flying kick out of the left flank, makes it a one-on-one contest at half forward for East Ringwood. They might get it through their player there in McConnon, but it's still in a contest at half forward for East Ringwood. Tackle comes in from Farmer. It's a bit too high and overzealous, and that's relief for the Bulldogs. So off half back, Cox gets it further out wide on the outer side. Mark not taken by Hughes, but he gets to the ball again first. So at ground level, he hands it backwards to a teammate, King. King gets a short pass that to another King in Daniel King. The reigning Chandler medalist gets a long spearing pass, and of course it's Eagle on the lead, takes a great mark, had a metre, had 2 by the end on his defender and took it out in front, but he's on the arc as the arc intercepts the boundary, so that just really points out how difficult this kick will be.
He's on the right side for a left footer though, Gav.
Well, it's going to be a difficult one just for distance and accuracy. A very deliberate shot, 4-1, most of them being from dead in front.
To work under those packs for East Ringwood. He's been a very good player.
Well, Doncaster East lead by 29 points over East Burwood at half-time. Score just coming through as King takes it for the Doggies, straight from the kicking, short passes on, and there's players everywhere, and taking the mark is Alex Ferraccio, about 45 metres out from goal.
Every time the reigning Chandler medalist gets the ball, he hurts you, doesn't he? I mean, he's marked the interception there from the kick out, and straight away he slotted it 20 metres to a player right in front.
Earned himself a spell on the bench too as Ferraccio comes in now. That is a beautiful looking kick straight over the goal umpire's head. It goes. That's the first goal of the third term. It goes South Croydon's way on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 10-5-65, opening up that lead again ever so slightly. East Ringwood 6-10-46.
There we go. Terrific play from the setup. The zone worked really well. It was a poor kick from Perry, but again a good intercept mark from King, and he doesn't waste it.
It's unfortunate the kickouts have had nowhere to go, really, and that time it looked like he passed straight to King. And
it was a half kick, wasn't it? Well, it wasn't short and all along.
Rucks go at it. Stevens wins the tap down. He's been jumping all over his opponent, and since about the first quarter, he's a bit slow to get into the game, but he's really getting on top. He probably concedes a bit of height in the contest, but Cleveland gets the front, decides that's the best way, but here's the goal kicker for Ferraccio, handing over to King. King and David gets his kick to centre forward, but been chopped off by Perry, and Perry will go out wide. Grandstand side, Bilo defeated by the bounce, but he's first to react, gets pushed off it by Donnell. Donnell comes in to be the tackler on top of Van Ruyen, and well done by Donnell as the Bulldogs have got it in hand through King, but King has been wrapped up close to the boundary line, and what was going to be a rebounding attack from East Ringwood has been...
That move's been made, boys. Joel Perry's going to play in front of the two big boys. He's on his own at the moment.
You need to, and that's what East Ringwood have been able to do in the second term, is just to get some marking options to chop off the leads, and well done in that recent contest by Perry. It's wrapped up at half forward, ball up again. Cleveland wins the tap down at ground level. It is the Bulldogs who will work it through Cox and King. King's flying kick on the bounce. It will be Perry. Hands it out to McConnon, one of the best for East Ringwood. That is Wade. Wade McConnell gets it on to Brad Jones. On the bounce, he picks it up. He doesn't bounce himself. He decides to go in the direction of his leading forward in Purdy. Purdy runs onto it.
Well done.
Passes it off. This is quick play. Opens it up. Big opportunity. 20 metres out, 1-on-1. No mark taken by East Ringwood in Renton. And Markovic did well there in the last line at ground level. Markovic gets involved again. He gets tackled as he gets on the ball. And wrapped up. But I reckon Markovic did real well there. He's behind in the contest. Punched down. And he stopped it. Made a stoppage out of it.
So we're only about 30 metres out here from goal. Picked up and snap on goal there by Cherney. Goes right across the face and out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a James Crowell for South Croydon to bring the ball back in.
Boys, that matchup, Alec McIntosh is now playing on Eagle, and Joel Perry is gone to Matt Crowell.
So taking off there is Glenn Strawn. He's had a great game for South Croydon today, Strawn, across half back line. Ball Cuthbert. Right on his stand down there is Hubbard, I should say, and a free kick has been paid to South Croydon, so they'll get another chance through the middle of the ground now. They'll take off. The switch might be created here as the kick goes towards the direction out there of Del DeGici. Right on his hammer down there is Farmer. The umpire said there was a little bit of holding going on, so Del DeGici will receive the free kick right across the half-back line.
Just too obvious by Farmer. The pullback of the jumper is just too obvious for the umpire to miss.
And when it's when you got Dan Baird, EFL great umpire in the middle of the ground, he's certainly not going to miss that one. And they stream through the middle of the ground. Here's Cuthbert. He might set sail for goal here. Cuthbert, 55 metres out. He pushes it right to the line. Perry, he stands strong. The ball might still be in here. The umpire said it eventually trickled over. Minor score is the result. Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 8.5-minute mark of the third term. The Premiership quarter, it's 10-6 playing 6-10.
So the kick out was a bit dangerous, but McConnell did well. Got it to Verdonis on the wing, who got some help. And now Farmer, how has he got this wide open at far forward? There's no one near him. One bounce, maybe two before he goes to 50. Flying shot. It's a wobble, but it's straight. What a beauty. They're in this contest now, East Ringwood. 7-10-52 from the boundary. That is goal number 2 for Farmer. And he closes the gap within 2 goals again.
Oh, beautiful kick in there. Got it. Oh, sorry, beautiful, scrap there, and they got the long kick out over the top and cleared that zone. I've just saw Damien Franken's also pulled off Matt Crown. He's going to try and go a little bit taller. He's got Grattan Stevens back on to try and take that matchup on Perry.
Ray, how did Farmer get wide open on half forward?
It makes you wonder, Gav, but the thing about what I wonder about, Farmer's run in, okay, he kicked the goal, but he had 2 other options where I just felt he should have given off to those players in better position. But he got the goal.
Totally disagree. Should have backed himself all the way, and rightfully so, as it paid off as a kick goes down towards Renton, the big man. He doesn't even look. Skew-whiff kick around the body, bouncing football. It stays alive. Purdy, his kick was smothered off the boot and over the boundary line. It goes. Boundary throw in about 20 metres out from goal.
This game's had a pattern about it. I mean, first of all, South Croydon, the game started off, East Ringwood jumped out the blocks, and South Croydon have 10 or 15 minutes, and I just feel now the first 10 or 15 minutes, 6 or 8 minutes of this quarter, it's been South Croydon, but now East Ringwood are getting back into it.
It's been a fantastic game so far. It's about 25 metres out from goal, swinging around. Battaglini couldn't get a boot to ball. Somehow they scramble it to the top of the goal square. Renton gets a handball away, open goal to McConnell, but it was he was kicked it straight into the man on the mark, and Cuthbert will be able to mop up after creating that awesome smother. Kicks it out wide, but it's going to be chopped off there by Purcell. So they'll get another chance here, East Ringwood. Trailing by 14 points, about 80 metres out from goal. Purcell, he's going to kick it to the hot spot. He kicked it to the Renton direction. Who's going to be at the fall of the ball? Van Ruin, he's had a super season. His kick was smothered. The ferociousness of both sides is fantastic this afternoon. It's such an important game, and we'll have a bounce about 45 metres out from the East Ringwood goal line.
Could have given a handball there. Van Ruin had 2 guys on the outside running into an open goal.
I think we're being a little bit too harsh. The pressure is immense as the ball goes up. Bernie's got the knockdown that time to no avail. King at the bottom of the pack will hand it back to Dan Baird for another restart. 50 metres out from East Ringwood's goals. Burnage, he got the knockdown that time. It might bounce favourably for Cuthbert. Going in after it again there is Hubbard. He dived on the ball. Cuthbert created the spoil. It came out wide. The umpire said, well, give it back to me, Dan Baird, because it's just inside the centre square and there's every bit of 20 plus players surrounding this football. So who will win the stoppage?
How about McConnell? Thought he had the winning raffle ticket. Got snatched out of his hands just
Cleveland
before.
Got it to Cherney. Dan Baird will wrap it up again. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s this quarter, 5-4 in favour of South Croydon. Clearances 6-4 in favour of East Ringwood.
So we might have a restart here. Eventually, Cleveland got the knockdown. That was okay. Kick forward there by Mallison across the half-forward line. Crowd got the handball away. They stream forward through Barnes on the left boot. Which way is this ball going to go?
Couldn't take the possession there on half-back. Just tapped it over his teammate. It was a beautiful little smart play.
That's what he's got to do on Joel Perry. He's got to get up the ground and have a bit of an impact.
So ball from 50 metres out, and again, every time we seem to have a stoppage, a ball up or a throw in, the ball just goes straight down under feet and it's not going anywhere. So it takes at least 2 goes at it before the game opens up, which could be dangerous for East Ringwood. We know how purposeful the Dogs are, but now it's just a really determined kick forward by David King. It's now in the congested area where East Ringwood are under a lot of pressure. They've showed a few nerves at times, but this time they do clear, and McConnon being their best, I reckon. Wade McConnon kicks it out, but a nice late spoil came in from Del Giudice, and he was an East Ringwood player, under 18s.
Yeah, no, Johnny Del Giudice, I think he won the medal in the under 18 premiership.
Well, I've called him Del Giudice. Gav's called him Del Giudice.
Johnny Del Giudice, I can assure you that.
Del Giudice.
Johnny Del Giudice.
Thanks for letting us know that at the start of the game.
He did, but you were off having a bit of a smoke out.
Pre-match is pre-match, mate. I'm not part of pre-match. The ball comes back in. It's about 75 metres out from the doggy goal
Whatever
line.
Gets it to the quality that you are, mate, I'm appreciative of you.
It's all about.
Is that enough sucking up?
It's all about the pre-match. You're welcome back as it comes down now, ground level.
Tim Cotton boundary.
Picked up a free kick. It'll go the way of Cherney. He'll kick it up towards the wing position where Farmer comes out and takes a strong mark. He wants to take off though. Time is of the essence in towards the middle of the ground. That was good. Spotted up David Marcius. Bangs it on his boot inside forward 50. Right in the right spot and he takes it on the second grab.
Ooh,
about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front, and we've seen Markovic go down. And Tim Cotton, thanks to Akira Urgent Cares, got some information for us on boundary side.
Yeah, star player Darcy Power from East Ringwood just came off holding his hamstring. He's in the hands of the trainers. Hopefully it's not too bad. Might just be cramped, but I'll let you know.
So Troy Wright, what an important kick this is. What an absolute shocker of a kick that was. Out of bounds on the full.
Has he ever kicked the ball before? That looked like a first attempt.
Yeah, he will be disappointed with that effort. Certainly in the context of this game, Ray, that was an important one as Cuthbert will take it from the short pass in.
Yeah, you're dead right, BWS.
Oh, they might have copped this up, though. It might be Lux of Fortune, and I think they've snagged a goal here. Cal McConnon in position A has put it over the goal umpire's head. That's his second goal of the afternoon, and I tell you what, sometimes you just need a little bit of luck in football, don't you, just to give you that little bit of extra spark. And East Ringwood once again narrow the margin out here at the Maroondah Sports Club. 16 minutes gone here in the third term, and they are 8-10-58. It's back to 14 points. South Croydon 11-6-72.
It was a comedy of errors. You know, the East Ringwood, they had a shot on goal. It was a real shonker, and then the South Croydon boys kicked into the man on the mark, and East Ringwood got the goal in the end that they should have got in the first time.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. A comedy of errors there, and back in the middle. Again, I was talking about we don't get one stoppage, we have 2 goes at it because no one wins a clear tap out. I reckon the long punch might have to come in vogue soon because we're not clearing any ball ups at first attempts. This time Renton wins it down, but he taps it down to his opposing ruckman. But at the back of the pack it is Theodonis who gets the flying kick into centre forward where it's been chopped off. The Dogs' defence has been quite good at that. And from centre half back they will reload as the big kick comes in by Del Giudice. And he gets it to half forward on the outer side. It is a contest between 2-on-2. Another pair come in and the ball's wrapped up
Tim
under
Cotton
feet.
boundary.
As good opportunity to go boundary side. Tim Cotton, what have you got, mate?
Yeah, just mentioned Darcy Howe holding his hamstring before. He still doesn't look 100%, but he's coming back on now.
And that was for Akira Urgent Care. Thanks for that. And it's the East Ringwood who have a chance to clear the defence. They're running backwards before they can think of going forwards. So they'll go from the outer side to the near side with a kick that goes all across the ground from one side of the arc to the other. And Belo's got it. And he looks to go back to that side the ball came from. Hope it opens up for him for Donis. It's been chopped off. Nice late punch in by Hughes. But it's East Ringwood with a couple of numbers. But there's the boundary line. Well done, Hughes. Saw it coming. Came in and got the punch down. And that's poor by the East Ringwood. I don't know what they've got further up the field, but they should attempt to get there.
Well, it was great work by Daniel Hughes. He had 2
Which way will this ball bounce? It'll bounce eventually favourably for Fisher, who was kept in nicely in a tackle there by Troy Wright, and over the boundary line it is forced.
Joel Perry really starting to have an impact now, guys. He's getting a lot of the footy off that half-back line.
Pyer throws the ball back in. Might have been a push on Cleveland in the ruck. The umpire said let that go as Cox. A free kick off the ball to Daniel King here for a little bit of holding, and he'll kick it up towards the half-forward line. Perry may have given away a free kick away there on Crow. The umpire said it was fair. Picked up by Renton, linked up the handball nicely there to Fedonis inside forward 50. The ball goes. This is a hot spot. Who's going to be front and centre to get this ball? Might be first one to meet it there is Powell. Wright was there also for the ROO'S, but over the boundary line the ball goes 25 metres out from the East Ringwood goal line.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a lull in the play at the moment, but East Ringwood, I'm not happy with the way they go inside that forward 50. Even on that occasion, they just bombed the ball in there. They've got to lower their eyes a bit.
Pyer brings the ball back in. There was no clear knockout that time. Who's going to win at a ground level? It'll be Donnell of the Chris variety. Got it away to King. King sold a little bit of candy, turned his player inside out and got a little chip over the top, but it was pretty ordinary in the end because it was chopped off by Leg, who just slams it on his boot, kicks the ball inside forward 50. This might be a free kick. The umpire said it was okay on Purdy. At the back of the pack, they've got numbers though. The Dogs are short passes on. Donnell might be able to hold this one. He copped one for his troubles by Leg. That's enough to give you a little bit of winding. And he gets up a bit gingerly, but he's tough. He's a tough nut. Don't you worry about that.
Great work by the two South Croydon ruckmen there with clean hands to get the ball out of defensive 50.
So Donnell takes off now.
Oh, no, umpire.
He's been touched as he bounced the football, and the letter of the law says that is...
that's not right.
I think it is, because he actually bounced at a 0.0 of a second after he was grabbed. I think that's a good decision by the umpire.
It's not touch footy.
No, he took him on and he was just grabbed and he bounced it just after he was
Well, he
grabbed.
probably deserves a reprimand for being a smarty, but other than that...
Regardless of the decision, that's great forward pressure again there by Battolini. He's been doing that all day.
So Battolini comes in from about 30 metres out from goal. He looks pretty direct in his approach, and he kicked it straight over the goal umpire's head. Here come the East Ringwood Football Club. That is his second goal, and the margin has been narrowed back to 8 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we approach time on in the third term.
Yeah, look, Daniel King, the Chandler medalist, look, he's just been phenomenal in this game. Look, the possessions that he got, but not only that, when he gets the ball, he really hurts the opposition, and particularly in this quarter, he's one that's really stood up in that midfield for the Doggies.
Good to see Markovic come back onto the ground. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Yeah, good forward 50 pressure from both sides with forward 50 tackles, 5-3 in favour of East Ringwood. Well, 5 if you count that one.
72 plays 64. It's South Croydon leading, but East Ringwood, I reckon the halftime chat would have been around. This is a big game, not only because, yes, it is 1,000th game for the club, but they've won, been competitive in most other games. They do need to win. There's finals up for grabs if anyone wants to prove their worth, and these two sides are definitely good enough if they can just get the wins against each other. And South Croydon 5-1 look like they have been doing the job so far in the season. So it's a really fantastic game. Only round 7, but a lot riding on it. At ground level, players go at it very fiercely. Cherney was taken over the shoulder, but the umpire didn't see that. Maybe blocked by the numbers of players around the ball. Rucks go at it. New ruckman for the Dogs is Bernage. And the Dogs at ground level. Bernage might go in again. His hand pass was underground. Couldn't get it going was Tui. Tui goes in again. Gets some help from his teammate in Fisher. And the tackling from East Ringwood's big. They really just work their way back in this contest physically. And they're starting to dominate around the stoppages. But the Bulldogs are very dangerous when it opens up. They're very deliberate when they go forward. But here's Farmer. Has the attempt, knocks it to himself, but gets it to a teammate. Here's Van Rooten, half forward. The eyes light up, and he trails out to the right. Bad decision. He didn't have the leg, and it's been chopped off by Grattan Stevens. As his kick has been a turnover. Jones, smothered kick from 40 as the turnover came. Big danger here. Battaglini gets it. Now Jones, another shot, tackled as he gets it on his left. High up and under, gets to the forward pocket and is marked just before the boundary by the Bulldogs in defence. And it's that man, Del Judici, who's taken it. And I'm mixing it up a bit, but I'm closer than what BWS are. So as I look to Aaron, who knows him, as East Ringwood have got it a half forward.
Oh, another chance they do have as Cherney has it across the half forward line inside the centre square. The kick goes inside forward 50. It's got to be a good one, and it is a good one. And a strong mark taken by Troy Rodier was brought down in the contest, but he plucked it in, and it would have been a free kick anyway. But we're going to give him the mark, Soupy, and he'll have a shot on goal to reduce this margin back to only 2 points.
Look, the back six of South Croydon, they've been under immense pressure in the last 10 minutes of this game, but with the opportunities that East Ringwood are giving themselves, they have to get a goal.
So Wright comes in, he starts at left, he works the ball back, and it bounces through for one behind. So Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 25-minute mark of the third term, 9-11-65 East Ringwood, South Croydon 11-6-72.
I can't talk to you with the microphone because the people hear us, but what's the marks inside 50s, Grant?
This quarter, it's just 2 apiece.
So I just think they've had an equally amount of attempts at goal, but East Ringwood seem to not have that finishing skills.
We're
today.
waiting on a blood rule, boys.
So let's recap the game. It is in the third term. 25 minutes gone in this round 7 Division 1 contest. That's Jones, is it?
Tim Cotton Boundary.
Looks like Jones.
As we'll go boundary side for that update for Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, you got it right, boys. Brad Jones, just the eyes bleeding a bit there. He should be on soon, though.
Scoreboard for Bendigo Bank. East Ringwood 9-11-65 and South Croydon 11-6-72. Big contest from the kick out, and now the Rovers come in for East Ringwood. Goes deep through McConnon, and is that a mark? It is. The Dogs again relieved through Crowell. This time it is James Crowell who does defence while his brother's up the other end in Matthew. So the short kick to Markovic made him stretch and made him wait, but the pressure didn't come in the end, really. So Markovic took it comfortably, but it is very static. No movement whatsoever. Short pass again is the only option, and it's just forward by 20 to Barnes. Barnes looks sideways because forward's not an option. He has got a free in Cox if he sees it. Cox now sort of gets himself into the congestion again with the lead. So that's ignored, and there is the siren. As it was 11-point lead at half-time, it is now only a 7-point lead for South Croydon at three-quarter time. South Croydon are 11-6-72, East Ringwood are 9-11-65.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live on efl.org.au. This is this game, but there's plenty more as you go local for your football right across the Eastern Football League. Will Taylor, Dyson Baker and the gang will be back after this to give you all those important scores.
It can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Rodier, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league BNF, our BNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Damien Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. It's currently 16 degrees outside in the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast of the big match on EFL Gameday between East Ringwood and South Croydon. It is, of course, the former's 1,000th game. Just before we head back to the team out there, a quick progress score in the AFL. The one match this afternoon. We're currently 14 minutes into the final term, and Richmond are absolutely comprehensively hammering the GWS Giants out at Spotless Stadium today. It's the Tigers currently 22-6, 138, leading the Giants 4-10-34 by a margin of 104 points. The big story out of the game is Jack Revolt. He has registered 11 goals to this point, and there's still plenty of time for more to add to that tally. Ellis and Griffiths each have 2 majors to their name, and Dustin Martin, promisingly for Tigers fans, has accumulated 30 possessions to this point in the game. Delidio with 29 as well. So all the big guns are firing for Richmond. For the Giants, the goal scorers all singles: Niglio, Hoskin Elliott and Reece Palmer. But we'll head back to the team out at EFL Gameday at East Ringwood Reserve right after these messages.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches. Akira EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to East Ringwood Reserve, and what a game we've got on our hands. It's currently 7 points the margin at three-quarter time. South Croydon leading this one, but only just. East Ringwood having a fair bit of the play in that third term. Just an update on the game going on at Spotless Stadium. Jack Rewelt's finally clicked his first behind for the afternoon. So 11-1, a lazy 11-1 for the afternoon. Grant Campbell, some of the Choose Tap match stats.
Yeah, in that third quarter, not too many differences. East Ringwood winning the clearances 12-10. Had 4 more kicks. They won the contested possessions by 4. Inside 50 count was 11-9 in their favour. The tackling pressure was pretty good from throughout the quarter. They had 21 effective tackles to 14 and 5 forward 50 tackles to 3.
Just getting a little bit coming through the boundary riders, Mike. It's interesting to. I mean, I know you can't hear it going through, but and we hopefully. I don't really trust Dale Bauer just in case he wants to rev the guys up too much. But just interesting to note that he's really calling for the moment, and I think that's what it's going to take for the Roos to get up.
Well, their forward pressure that quarter was absolutely terrific. We saw a couple of goals come from that, especially one there with they tried to get the handball to Strawn. They love giving the ball to Strawn, and for a good reason. But there was a bloke in between Strawn, and they turned it over in the goal square, and it's cost them a goal. So I think East Ringwood, if they can keep that forward pressure up and they can keep Perry free in that defensive 50, this could be their game to take.
Gav Casey just made a good point off air in saying that East Ringwood have been good and South Croydon have been great, but East Ringwood have been good but not good enough, and it probably reflects on the score that they had 2 or 3 chances but they couldn't quite get it done. But we'll cross boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Tim, you're over at the East Ringwood huddle.
I did get in that huddle, and you did hear correctly. He's very upbeat. He said, get numbers to the contest, make the moment yours. One player he's absolutely wrapped with was Joel Perry's quarter. He had his colours lowered early on in the game, but he's really lifted in that third quarter. He also wants to slow the game. Well, he rates South Croydon as a really fast-paced team, so he wants to slow the game down and take the moments.
Thanks very much, Tim. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. It's kind of the game plan that we saw at Scoresby going back sort of 4 or 5 years ago, where they were prepared to slow the ball down, they were prepared to control the play, use the wings, and then create the option from, the half-forward flank to finally get that kick inside forward.
Exactly, 50. And that is where Joel Perry comes in. They slow them down, make them kick long, and Joel Perry's running around in that back line, taking the marks. And I don't know, I think the problem is they've given the Bulldogs a bit of a 5-10 minute run, and what they'll do is they'll kick 2-3 goals quickly, as the East Ringwood have had to work hard to kick 2 or 3 goals for probably for the majority of the quarters, and to work a bit harder. So they can't let the Dogs get off the leash, because they'll open this lead up again to 4 goals.
I think the important thing for me is that as much as Cam Purdy really hasn't had a massive influence on the game, he's still had, half a dozen shots at goal, and he's looking dangerous inside forward 50.
He's probably the only forward they've got that really leads up with a bit of a presence.
Yeah.
They got Renton and that who rest forward, and they're more of the big contested marks. They can bang it in long. So he can keep doing that. It's going to provide that option.
It's going to take 2 or 3 from him, isn't it, Ray?
It certainly is. But look, the game's up for grabs, guys. Anybody can win this. Either side, they play in spasms.
Esmond boundary.
One team will go for 10 minutes and then the other team will take over.
We'll cross boundary side shortly, but we've got some around the ground scores, Alice.
Yeah, in Division 1 we've got South Croydon leading East Ringwood by 7 points. That's a radio game. And we've got Montrose leading Roeville by 2 points. Blackburn leading Noble Park by 15. And over in Division 2, Doncaster up by 2 against Murrelbach. and North Ringwood leading Mulgrave by 34.
So a few interesting results. Any in Division 3 and 4 that we've got just yet?
Yeah, there's a couple. Got Boronia leading Churnside Park by 32, Upper Ferntree Gully leading Mitcham by 21, and Templestowe leading Heathmont by 10. And in Division 4, scores are equal between the Eastern Lions and Surrey Park, both on 48, and Park Orchards is leading Kilsyth by 80.
So a few interesting results. Thank you, Alice. And we go around the grounds as we start the final term here at South Croydon, 11-6-72, leading East Ringwood 9-11-65 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Gav Casey.
East Ringwood have got it half forward. It's through Cal McConnell. He tries a bit too hard to get some flair into the game, and he's been corralled at half forward after having a big opportunity to get it inside 50 and held up by the Dogs. So it's a bit of a scrap late in that third term. Only 7 points the difference. The game is tempered just for one little flurry, I reckon. Someone could open it up and take advantage. This game might go to an unexpected level as Barnes from centre back gets across to half forward. We're running onto it with Hughes. He couldn't get to it on the first bounce. He sort of paddles it to himself, gets onto it, gets tackled as he collects it. He looks for a teammate. Tackle comes in a bit too rough by Jones, and the free kick will go to the Bulldogs as they'll load up again through Barnes. Barnes hands it back to Eddie. Eddie on the half back on the outer side. His kick just got punched away when it tried to get that short pass. So East Ringwood do trap it on the outer side, and the turnover ensues. They go into the middle. Farmer wants to dash off to right. Eddie tackled him as he did it, and it's a turnover because Farmer drops it, and it allows Ferraccio to get onto it. The kick was high up and under, and Farmer gets there to do the roving as he hands it off to a teammate. The kick is just a hurried one, and near the boundary line, Purdy can't keep it in. So not a comedy of errors, but really not much constructive going on either way.
Daniel Hughes. I haven't mentioned him too many times, and I think that's how you want a good defender.
So we've gone 3 minutes in this final term. As the kick goes out, Cleveland created the spoil at the fall of the ball. South Croydon get the kick in towards the middle of the ground now. Going after it strongly there was Hughes. So did McConnell. Got the knock back towards the Jones direction. He went in. They're still in the middle of the ground here, East Ringwood. They just need to squeeze out a kick. They need to go wide because that's where the players are. Taking it now is Fedonis. He received the handball there by McConnell. Inside forward 50. The kick goes towards Renton. There's a little bit of holding on there. The umpire didn't see it. Stevens at the back of the pack. He mops up for the Dogs. Gets a handball away to King. King out wide again, and Strawn eventually takes the mark across the half-back line. So Strawn wasting no time. That was a good spot up too because Carly was alive. Got it away to King. King got the handball on forward now. South Croydon up towards the half-forward line. They might have to sit here. You've got to use the body well against Joel Perry, who just judged it to perfection, and he takes the mark for the ROO'S, kicks it into towards the middle of the ground. They might link up well here now. Jones has it. Jones stops props. He mucked around with it a little bit there. Gave the handball away to Farmer. Got it towards Farmer. Got a nice little knock on as East Ringwood go inside forward 50 towards the Renton direction. He's got 3 players to beat there. King goes in hard at the fall. The ball's been picked up there by Balo. On the right boot, he kicks it to the top of the goal square. It's a 1-on-2 situation. Stevens judged it best, and the big ruckman for South Croydon takes the mark at the last line of defence.
So it looks like Stevens has been taken out of that ruck duties to really be that dropping behind and taking some really good marks and mopping up. So he's done well. They're sharing it around in defence. Hopefully there won't be an error for the Bulldogs because they're really deep in their own defence and they've been shut down in terms of options further up the field. So the kick will be long down the line, outer side. It goes over the pack, and at the back of the pack, thankfully for South Croydon, it is one of theirs. Eddie gets the hand pass, and he kicks it down the field, and Hughes takes the mark as he sprints forward. He'll look for a lead and eagle, but there's plenty of numbers. As the high up and under, Eagles under it, the late spoil will come in just in time, and Perry did well, gets it to ground level where the numbers win out, and Leg will do some running on the outer side, and very lucky, Eddie took the mark where there was no East Ringwood, but yes, the down the field free kick will give the ball back to the Kangaroos on outer wing side, and Van Ruyen has got it. He's already kicked 1 goal this quarter. I'm not saying he's going to go for another now because he's 80 metres away from goal, but he's got into the game as it's gone longer. The kick goes to half forward in a dangerous spot. The Bulldogs have got the men at the back of the pack and they will mop up through those numbers. Strawn's got it. What a dasher he is, but he's been no dash this time because there's a man really controlling that a man on the mark, but the kick was a sharp one and it was too low to the ground. And at ground level, it's a fight for the ball. And numbers come in from both sides and wrap it up 55 metres out from East Ringwood's score. Goals and 6-minute mark. Let's look at the score. East Ringwood 9-11-65 and South Croydon 11-6-72. No added scores in this first 6 minutes as King wins it out of the pack for South Croydon, that being David King. I reckon we've called him more than his cousin, being Daniel King, but here they go forward through Mallison. He normally spears up a pass, but this one was just ill-directed, and chop off means that Perry will run it out for East Ringwood.
Jesus, from been good.
Half back to half forward. Here's McConnon. He's come into the game. Cal, Wade's been very good. Cal runs onto his right boot. Right boot gets in board.
No!
What a mark! 3 deep coming from behind his right, and we know what his kicking style is at its worst. Let's hope he's at his best right now. So we'll go to a stat just before we get this kick.
Inside 50s this quarter, 7-3 in favour of East Ringwood.
Yeah, Troy right from 50. He might get his boot right through it. He does, but he pulls it to the left for a minor score. Better than his previous effort.
Well, it was the same result.
He's pulled it so much it's out of bounds on the left side.
Looked nicer in flight, though.
Yeah, I took my eye off that, so it's a not a minor score. Scores do not change 7 minutes into this final term, but this game is up for grabs.
So the doggies through that man in Strawn, who's been absolutely super all afternoon. Boots the ball out towards the wing position. He was looking for Hughes, but it's going to get chopped off on a 2-on-1 situation here. Chadwick will be there for the ROO'S, but nice play there by Christinell to come in and just apply that late bit of pressure and force the boundary throw in.
At the end of the day, though, the East Ringwood, they're going to woo the missed opportunities that they had. I mean, they had to kick a goal with that forward thrust and to kick the ball.
Dog will clear it out of that all-important danger zone. It goes up towards the wing position, then a little boot in towards the middle of the ground was taken by King. He was going to go to the other King, but instead elected to go on his right boot in towards the middle. It was a tough ball there for Barnes to be able to pull down. He needed some support to come in. Strawn was in there. The umpire's going to eventually come in and bounce this one just forward of centre now for South Croydon. 9.5 minutes gone. Which way do you see this game going, Ray Baird? It's anyone's game at this stage.
Well, it's anybody's game at this situation.
Throws it up, Renton, front spot once again, just palms it down. It's like he can just almost grip that football. And it comes out now, picked up there by Leg, couldn't get a handball away, but eventually East Ringwood scramble one up towards the Farmer direction, who plays in front on Del Judas and takes the mark. So Farmer, still inside the centre square, kicks it inside forward 50, the big man Cleveland
great lead. Comes
out in front, and he's such a big body that if you're going to be in front and the kick's going to be good, it's going to be hard to get it past him, and an important kick coming up here.
It was a great lead, and it was a great kick by Mitch Farmer.
Esmond,
It hit him right on the chest without even missing a step.
So Dean Cleveland, great footballer, comes in now, 45 metres out. He pushes it to the right-hand side, so you'd almost say that they're peppering goals over the first 10 minutes of this final term, East Ringwood, but it's back to 1 goal. The difference is the doggies bring the ball back in, and they might have mucked this one up too as it comes out towards the Farmer direction. Boot to ball, Purdy's in there too, so too is Eddie. Picked up there by Farmer. The umpire said play on, and will have a bounce about right next to that boundary line, which will cross down boundary side very shortly to Esmond. But it's a hot footy only about 30 metres out from the East Ringwood goals. Can they square the ledger? Pye throws it up, Cleveland got the knockdown, came to the arms of Wright, got a little handball away over the boundary line. It goes, but the umpires paid a free kick against the big man in Dean Cleveland this time, and it will go the way of South Croydon as we cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Esmond.
Quick update on Michael Barnes. South Croydon 39's come off holding his hand, bit of grimacing with a pain. I'll keep you updated.
Grattan Stevens got the mark from his teammate. They went across the goals, and the kick down ground might have been a bit dangerous, but it only meant O'Toole had to stand tall, took the mark under pressure. Their series of handballs gets him into the middle of the ground. Strachan in congestion gets his kick forward to Hughes. Hughes is being harassed as he goes forward.
King on hands and knees was wrapped up nicely in a tackle by Balo, and we'll do it all again.
Tim Cotton boundary.
Cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Tim Cotton.
Yeah, Brad Jones back on for East Ringwood. He's got the head bandaged up now, so hopefully he doesn't bleed again.
Nice little handball there by Balo, got it away to Farmer. Can he put this one through? And listen to the fans cheer that one home. Hallelujah, that's his third goal on the board. Mitch Farmer, and a very important one too. We are back to a 1-point ball game in this final term at the Maroondah Sports Club. What a game we are seeing, but South Croydon still hold that lead, Ray.
They certainly do, but look, that goal came out of nothing. There was a stoppage there. The two big ruckmen there dropped the ball to their own feet. Somehow there was a hand pass come out to Mitch Farmer, and he's run into an open goal from 30 metres, and this time he's made no mistake.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s now 10-5 in favour of East Ringwood.
Rucks go at it. Looks like it's Renton in the middle against Bernard. So some new ruckmans at it for both sides. Again, we talk about the tap not going to anyone in particular, but King does well. Puts a hand pass, and now the spread will occur. Donnell's out wide, but he might be avoided first up. As hit goes to half forward, no mark taken. The defence of numbers was East Ringwood, but it's been Tui does well. He gets it back to Donnell. Donnell searches for the boundary throw in, and he got what he wanted because he knew there was no numbers for him around him, and he just hand passed it in that direction. And
that
the boundary
is as deliberate as it gets, Ray.
It certainly was deliberate.
So 70 metres around from the Bulldogs' goals, but it's the numbers around this contest for East Ringwood. Belo's got better in the second half. Cherney gets involved. He's a powerhouse. He takes the tacklers on. Then McConnens are all involved at every occasion. Cal's been better as the game gets on as well, but I reckon Wade has been one of the best on ground as we've got it on the centre wing.
He certainly has, but it's been a huge quarter by Anthony Van Rooyen. He's the one in the midfield.
Stepped it up, hasn't he, Ray?
Yeah, he certainly has.
Bulldogs might get this one. King, as he does very often, gets the clearance at ground level. Tui takes on the tackler, was too high, led with his head.
Clever.
Smart play, gets the free kick, draws the high tackle. Where he's looking for the lead, hoping for Eagle, had his arm grabbed, goes for the mark, 2v1, he's not going to win it of course. Farmer waits for Alder to dance around him, gets up off the deck, gets his kick smothered. All Dogs will load up and centre forward, smothered by Farmer, brilliant effort, but you're playing against 7. And as Eddie hands it out the back, as the Bulldogs try to load up through Markovic, he's high up and under. Wow, what a mark by Perry at set up back. This game's getting exciting, it's getting tense, the errors are coming because of the tension.
South Croydon got to stop kicking the ball to Joel Perry here.
Everybody sat back and waited for Farmer to handball that out because he was on his knees, and finally he thought, no, I'm going to get up and get rid of this myself.
So it's a boundary throw in again, 70 metres out. Bernard wins it for the Dogs, but at ground level it's no surety the tap will go to your own man, and it's Cherney who will get it out of the pack. The bouncing ball, it's a fierce contest, 3-on-3 on the outer side. Will East Ringwood win it out? They do get the first hand pass out, high tackle. And that's unfortunate, and it will go the way of Farmer. Put his head over it, does lead with his head a lot, and this time the umpire sees it as an over-the-shoulder.
It was the umpire 40 metres off the ball there that paid that free kick, not the umpire who was there at the action.
I reckon Farmer doesn't get every free kick because I reckon the umpires see what he's trying to do.
Jeez, he's been good.
But his courage can be unquestioned. He might centre it up, no, decides to go long, hoping for the marker, 2v1. The one comes in late, and East Ringwood have got it for Renton. So is this in scoring distance? 50 metres out, late, 17 minutes, final quarter. Will the leg have enough juice in it, so to speak? It's 72 playing 73. Go ahead, Ray.
And this kick is huge in the context of this game, because if he can kick this
You
goal,
reckon?
I believe that East Ringwood can go on and win if he kicks this goal.
Game 1000. Will East Ringwood be leading after this kick? It goes long to the line, just the right side. It's all tied up. Let's look at the scoreboard. 10-13, 73. Their opponent, South Croydon, 11-7, 73. 17 and a half minutes are ticked over on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Short passes on, King gives it off, he'll get it back here of the David variety, sold a little bit of candy, that was good play around Cherney, then makes his way through the middle of the ground. That was a fantastic run as he drives the ball up towards the half forward line. Down there is Eagle, picked up nicely there by McConnon, got it away to Perry on the handball now. They can stream out wide if they want. Perry eventually gets it back, they eventually go out wide now. East Ring will kick up towards the half forward line, coming out and taking a strong mark, Mitch Farmer. About 85 metres, 90 metres out from goal. They're 2 kicks away from getting in front here, East Ringwood, if they can link up as Farmer. He gives everything he's got, goes towards the Renton direction. And the big man takes a very strong mark right on the arc. And we only saw him have a shot on goal moments ago, so he knows how the ball will go. He knows what he needs to do. And distance will, after the last kick, won't be a problem here, Ray.
Yeah, no, and a few minutes ago I mentioned Van Rooyen back last quarter, but Joel Perry, he has really stood up down
Amazing
this quarter.
Amazing second half by Joel Perry and a really big part in East Ringwood getting back in this game.
And Farmer at half forward, what they lacked in the first half. Farmer at half forward's been great.
Oh, he's been great, yeah. He's a lead up forward now.
Well, it's been a long time between drinks since East Ringwood have been back in front in this game. I think it was time on in the first term. But it doesn't matter if you can get your nose in front as you hit time on in the last. It's a kick from Renton. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Stevens knocks it through for one behind. But they have the lead, the East Ringwood Football Club, by 1 point. 19 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Dyson Baker around the grounds.
Couple of games of note going around. Montrose lead Roval by 2 points at three-quarter time. Doncaster leading Murrelbach by 2 points at three-quarter time. It's a close right across the board. Templestowe lead by 10 points over Heathmont, and Sylvan lead by 14 over Ferntree Gully.
Strawn did the kick out, but it's going to come back in his direction. The load up East Ringwood. Pack flies at it, 40 metres out at ground level. It's the Kangaroos. Flying shot might come out by McConnon. Oh, he sprays it. The moment got to him and he kicked it out on the full. So the lead is still a point. It's East Ringwood. They haven't led for about 2.5 quarters, but they find themselves in front of the 20-minute mark of this final term.
South Croydon just panicking this quarter with their disposal, trying to quicken the game up, and East Ringwood are beating them at their own game at the moment.
They need to get their run. That's their best game, but it's the back pocket. It's their runners like Strawn, but he kicks it to Eddie, and he always marks what gets in his direction. The kick goes up the ground. Here's Hughes. Dropped it under pressure, but it was too severe over the shoulder pressure.
Definitely a mark.
So it's a mark being paid.
James Crow's gone forward now.
There was a short in Cuthbert. They're going down the line, the safe option. But here are the Dogs again, able to reload.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, you can't. He's taken the mark and he's put the elbow up and hit the East Ringwood player in the head.
So that was a turnover. It was Fisher, was it, who took the mark out at half forward. He gave off the push off, and now it's Jones having the turnover on the outer side.
So Jones, he might switch this back into the middle of the ground to Perry, who's made space. You don't give a class player like that the room to move, as East Ringwood might spread this out even further wide towards the McConnon direction. This is Wade, takes the mark now. Got to get this ball moving, Wade. Steps back over the mark, the short passes on, and the option was always there too because Darcy Hubbard had made space. So Hubbard kicks it straight into the man on the mark. That was fantastic bit of play there by Mallison, and then to go after it again. But second effort there by Darcy Hubbard really impressed the members faithful out here. There's plenty of them today. What a big afternoon it is as Jones takes the mark in the middle. Now they'll create the switch further out wide. This is Van Ruin. Hasn't he had a last quarter to remember as he kicks it up towards the half forward line. Purcell takes the mark. He kicks it inside forward 50. Where's the lead? And the mark almost taken there by Purdy on hands and knees. He gets it back to Purcell. Purcell! Put it through! That is a goal today! It almost brought the house down out here at the Maroondah Sports Club. And Purcell, what a second effort to keep moving forward. Slams through his first goal of the afternoon and stretches the lead for East Ringwood to 7 points. Would you believe it? The Roos look like they're on top here.
Well, they certainly are, and the build-up to that goal, they switched the play from the half-back line. They had players running into the open, and they got the reward.
Let's go to Dyson Baker with some more around the ground scores.
From Wayne Brasher, 15-minute mark, final term. Ferntree Gully 11-7-73, Sylvan 10-14-74. A close one out at Ferntree Gully Reserve.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Tim Cotton.
Absolutely exciting atmosphere down here, boys. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So Purcell just ran onto the ball and he kicked a beautiful hurried kick 40 metres out, so the lead's 7. And the umpire comes in and penalises East Ringwood as they jump on the ball. So Jones has to hand it over.
Give it back.
And Ferracchio's got it. And he'll be looking to load up from the centre circle. Looking for Eagle. 3 against him. How's he going to win that, doggies? And at ground level, it's only Donnell. But he's hot on his collar is McConnon. But he's slippery. The boundary line was there and he still dances around him. Gets it inside the 50. Kick is urgent and the pressure is hot. And the ball at ground level. Tackle comes in and the umpire will have to ball it up 20 metres out. The doggies have lost their way. No leading options. Now they're just hopeful. Let's Grant Campbell some big stats to mention.
Inside 50s, 14-9 for East Ringwood this quarter. And
leading this one 11-14-80. South Croydon 11-7-73. Going up in the ruck that time was Renton. No one got the clear knockdown. Came down to Jones. Scrambled to kick it. Went in straight into the back of Renton and the ball skews into the middle of the ground. And now the doggies might have a chance here. Here comes Strawn. He's been fantastic all afternoon. He arches it back. He has 2 bounces. He might have to go for 3. He nearly could have been pinged there, Strawn. I think he almost thought that he was going to be as his kick goes inside forward 50 and out of bounds on the full.
He certainly run a long way, BWS.
Oh, it certainly was. McIntosh goes to Baylow across the half-back line now for East Ringwood. Every kick counts. You've got to hit up the targets. South Croydon need to get back to man-on-man football as the ball goes out towards the wing position. Big high flyer at the back of the pack. Couldn't quite pull it down was as Farmer. Handball out there by Carley. Back to Eddie. That was okay. Now the kick goes up towards the Donnell direction over the top of his head. Out of bounds on the full. It was not the greatest of kicks, and the big man Renton will be the one to bring it back into play for East Ringwood.
Last quarter only went 27 minutes. We're 25 minutes gone.
Can't be long left in this match. Will the celebrations be going the way of the ROO'S on such a big occasion? Stevens copped one too high, the top of the arms. So Big Sticks will get a chance to move it on quickly. He needs to do that. He does do that, and the kick was an absolute shank forward, and Renton, standing where he only got rid of the ball only moments ago, takes the easiest of marks. He's been told by his teammates to slow it down. The umpire says speed things up a little bit as the kick goes up towards the Purdy direction. Knocked away from him, falling over Cherney as well, and over the boundary line it goes. It's been a terrific game. It's been tough, it's been fierce, and it's going to go right down to the wire.
Terrific game sense by Purcell before. Glenn Strawn streaming inside 50 and kept him on his right side.
So Renton at the back of the pack, palms it nicely down there to Cherney on the left boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Which way is this one going to go? It might bounce favourably for Wright. He was brilliantly brought to ground by Chris Donnell in a fantastic tackle, and the umpire said, give it back to me. It'll be thrown up just inside the line. 26 and a half minutes gone. Final term of football. Here's Del Judas, got the little handball away. Can the doggy stream forward? Stevens, he's a class player. Size it up, and it doesn't matter because the siren sounds out here at the Marina Sports Club, and what a celebration it will be for the East Ringwood Football Club, who started the game so fantastically in the first term. They were met, they were challenged, they were down, and they came again in the final term, and they've brought the house down out here at the Maroondah Sports Club. Final scores: East Ringwood 11-14 80, South Croydon 11-7 73. Epic game.
Well, it was a fantastic game, and I just want to say at this stage, the compliment all the players on both sides, because it was a physical game from the very start right down to the end. There was lots of players come off with the blood rule, and not one player gave an inch throughout the whole game. A great game of Australian rules football, and a credit to Division 1 in the Eastern Football League.
I was just saying, man, we spoke to Dale Bauer. What a move he's made. He took Jason Eagle completely out of the game in that second half. He was looking ominous. He looked like he was going to bag another 10 or 11 goals today, and he put Joel Perry in front of him, backed his man Alex McIntosh to play on him, and that was really the game turner. The South Croydon had no forward they could hit up in that second half.
You're dead right there, because what Joel Perry does, if he becomes the loose defender, he starts their forward thrust from the half-back line, and as we saw on many occasions in that second half, it was Joel Perry who started those forward thrusts.
Well, it's great, fantastic scenes we're seeing out here at the East Ringwood Football Club. At certain stages of the game, you thought that the ROO'S might not be able to get themselves back into the match. South Croydon looked like they're on top of the ground all over, but a man who'll be extremely happy with the way that their boys were able to come back from behind and take out the victory is the senior coach of the East Ringwood Football Club, Dale Bauer, and he joins Tim Cotton.
Dale, doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Oh, look, yeah, the boys battled really hard. We had pretty much no rotations left, but the fight and spirit of our boys was fantastic. We didn't play perfect footy. We didn't